What's up, stationaries? We have a late game save on PlayStation Storefronts tonight, as well as Sony sinking some major dollars into the PC gaming and development scene. And once again, are gamers to take the blame for when games get canceled? I hope you're ready because Crossroads starts now. What's up and welcome to Crossroads PlayStation Podcast for Boss Rush Games. I am one of your hosts, LeRon and Austin, and this show wouldn't be anything without my fellow Crossroads stationaries. Austin, PlayStation Doctor. What's good, man? Austin, you're muted.
The Vita might be all right. The Vita might be all right, guys.
Vita Island survives another day.
We live.
Oh boy, and
I'm a mess right now.
I
woke up like 30 minutes ago.
Well, we know you work night shift. You work terrible shifts at night. But you got promotion coming up, right? You got promotion and possible change on shift, right? Yeah.
Yep. It'll be an hour change, but it's still a little bit of a change.
Oh, okay. I thought you were actually changing the whole shift.
I'll get to sleep in 1 hour later, but that's it.
Hey. Small blessings, right? Hey. Small blessings, right?
An hour is an hour, okay?
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. And also, I want everybody to please welcome back the Landbardy Czar, Logan Corkins.
How's it going, everybody?
And in the house tonight is also the mayor of the Deepstone Crypt. Did I say that right? Did I say that right? All right. Our buddy from Tower Casuals, Josh Finney.
Okay, every millennial DJ ever.
Has everybody seen that David Guetta video from last year? Did everybody see the David Guetta video last year where he's DJing like on top of the Empire State Building or something?
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah,
and he's like, I mixed this track last night. This goes out to his family, and it's like, what the fuck? Did you just say that? Did you just say that during a live set? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Hey, he's from France. Give him a pass.
Yeah.
All right, and in our coveted fifth chair tonight, please, everyone, give a big welcome to Wes from the Console Gaming Crew podcast show. What's up, man?
Yo, crew members, what it be?
So, guys, how's the week been so far? I know it's only Tuesday, but a lot of stuff can pop off on Tuesday, like all the news and events that we're going to talk about shortly.
I'm not ready to go back to work.
You're what?
We start up, man. Today was a good day. I'm game for today.
Oh yeah.
It's good.
We're not gonna politicize this episode that much,
sir.
but just so everyone knows, like this is Tuesday, 4/20, April 20th, and some news happened in the United States that you may want to keep abreast of. So hopefully, that's all I'm gonna say because like I said, I'm not politicizing the show tonight. But guys, you know what? Since we got a lot talked about, let me go ahead and get to this housekeeping and let's get started. All right. This is Crossroads, the PlayStation podcast of Boss Rush Games. Every week we come together bringing you the latest in news, rumors, games, and general discussion in the world of PlayStation. Crossroads is live on twitch.tv/Exodus803 Tuesday evenings at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're unable to join us during the live event, Crossroads can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other podcast apps. And if you like the show, please consider subscribing to our podcast show. We would love you if you do it. You can also see the show on youtube.com/BossRushGames and our website, BossRushGames.com, every Thursday. While you're there, don't forget to check out our growing family of podcast shows, and remember to share, rate, and review us wherever you check out our show. Also, please take a moment and give us a follow on Twitter at PS_Crossroads. So, guys, some of you know about this, some of you don't, but this is our favorite segment of the show. Because the Boss Rush Games tradition is all about food. So and we would be slacking if we didn't talk about food every week. So welcome to our What's on Your Plate Station segment. Tonight is Bon Appetizer night. Basically, good appetizers. So the way this breaks down is we have a little bit of a format here. We're gonna talk about our favorite appetizer food. We're gonna talk about have we ever just gone out and dined at a restaurant on nothing but appetizers, did not order an entree at all, not even dessert. and then we're gonna have the smackdown by trying to figure out who has some of the best appetizers on their menu. So we're gonna. Logan is already ready.
Question.
Oh, okay.
What's
What's up?
Question. Do the Texas Roadhouse rolls, do they count as an appetizer or is just like a meal? Like,
Well, you don't pay for them though.
You don't pay for them, but I've literally ate nothing but that before.
You've never had you've never had anything, not even a salad with it.
I didn't eat it. No.
Okay, I
What the
love
hell
bread.
eats salad?
Look. I work out. I work out 3 days a week. I'm supposed to eat healthy sometimes.
Oh, so do I, but
Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I don't know. I don't even know how to answer that because I've ate my weight in Texas Roadhouse rolls too. You know.
It's easy to do with that.
But
Buddy.
I've also
consider
had
chips and salsa an
Yeah,
appetizer.
then there's the other
Yes.
good question right there.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, I think you can count the rolls.
I
okay.
think
Okay.
you count the rolls. Count the rolls.
I'm not gonna-
count
okay.
the chips and
Yeah.
salsa.
You know what? I'm gonna be an asshole tonight. I'm not counting those as appetizers. Why? Because that's warm up food. That's the food that's the food they get you
Okay,
as they're
but
enticing
9
you
times
to
out of
order off their
10,
menu.
9 times out of 10, you eat more rolls at Texas
Then
Roadhouse
you
than
eat the
do
actual
anything
food.
else.
Then you eat the
And
actual
10
food.
times out of 10, you definitely eat more chips and salsa than you do.
Exactly.
Texas Roadhouse in other states.
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
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 They don't call it like Oklahoma roadkill or
Uh-uh.
anything.
Nope.
Oh,
Okay.
Nope.
Nah, I'm outside of Philly and there's Texas Roadhouses.
Oh, okay.
it's just
Dang.
universal.
I didn't know that went that far.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of shocking.
You know what? I'll ask the audience what they think. The chips and salsa at Mexican restaurants, the rolls at freaking Texas Roadhouse, the unsinkable breadsticks at Olive Garden and stuff like that. Is that considered an appetizer or is that, like I said, warm up food? Hit us up in the chat. Who wants to go first with their favorite appetizer food?
Fried calamari.
Fried calamari.
Always good.
You know what?
Yeah.
I need to make a notepad of that. Fried calamari, yes. What else we got?
Actually, I think fried calamari has come up the last 3 weeks because me and LeRon have talked about it at food
Hell
trucks and the
yes.
Greek festival.
Hell
So
yes.
now it's the third week in a row we've talked about calamari.
It's unintentional, but
I just had a giant platter of calamari last week.
Oh.
And yes, it's on the appetizer menu.
I would probably have to say pretzels with beer cheese.
That's a great one to go with.
Yes.
Not a good
Yes.
thing.
And
pretzels
hot
beer
mustard.
cheese.
we have a
Good hot mustard
dine
pretzels.
I'm not a mustard
here
guy.
that
I gotta
does
go with the beer
soft
cheese.
pretzel bites, and they deliver queso with them.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
And my girlfriend, like
Ooh.
they're like buttered soft pretzel bites, and like they've got
Oh,
plenty
yeah.
of salt on them. And
Oh
my
yeah.
girlfriend will have like one or two, and she's like, I don't really want that
Mm.
because we'll do the 2 for $25, right? So they'll give us our entrees, they'll give us dessert, but we always get an appetizer given to us. And let me tell you something, it comes down to that or the big ass bowl of buttered popcorn, literally a bowl of buttered
Oh,
popcorn
yeah.
is what it
Mm.
comes down to. And
Mm.
so it's like, all right, how do I want to clog my arteries tonight? And that's when you know you chose the place.
Let me ask a question to the naysayers on the pretzel of mustard. Is it just because like you go to these places and they give you like some regular ass French's mustard or something? Because like when I hear pretzels and mustard, it has to be because I traveled abroad when I was growing up and stuff. Like I mean, they give you like some of the most really rustic mustard. You know, like it's mustard that the Queen of England would put put her pinky up as she's eating.
Oh, come on, you know she eats French's. Those
So I took
royal
Dan.
prudes.
I took Dan from Pal Block over to Strang Hall a few weeks ago when he was in Kansas City, and they make an amazing beer cheese and pretzel, but they serve it with the homemade hot mustard.
Mhm.
That you can they leave a little bit of the mustard seed in there, so it adds a little bit
yeah.
more texture to it. Oh,
Mhm.
dude, nothing better than that. Do you guys have
Alright.
54th Street in your respective cities? 54th Street Bar and Grill.
Yes, I have one 2
I-
minutes from my house.
I don't think we have one out
The
this way.
gringo dip.
Huh? The what?
Josh. the
Did you just
gringo
call it the
dip.
gringo dip?
It's the gringo dip. That's what it's called. The
So
white queso.
what is it like?
It's
some
the white
cheese
spinach
whiz?
queso. It's the white spinach queso.
Oh, okay.
Wait, it's a white spinach queso? Because I've had queso. I've had white queso dip, but I've never had white queso with spinach in it. That sounds
White queso
delicious.
with spinach and peppers. Oh my god, dude. That is god tier. Level appetizer.
All right, so let me see. We've Josh had fried calamari. Logan, Wes had the pretzels with beer cheese. Logan.
Also, alligator. Alligator's always good appetizer if you can get decent alligator.
I've never actually, as people know throughout these segments, I'm food diverse. Like I'm not really cringe when it comes to different types of food, but I've never had alligator before. I've had ostrich.
Really, really good. Austin, I had some on for Thursday, Friday, whatever day, Friday.
So,
It was really
so
good.
what is
Sell
it
that
like?
up here.
So the alligator is it like how like you go to like Chinese restaurants and it's like the teriyaki on a stick, except it's alligator.
No.
Alligator
It was-
strips?
it's almost like done like fried shrimp.
Not in Oklahoma. It's fried.
Okay, fried alligator. Okay, all right. Austin.
Man, I think I gotta go with the mozzarella sticks. If we're not counting chips and salsa or chips and queso,
Classic.
I gotta go with the mozzarella sticks. That's
Mozz-
but I do agree that mustard is good on a pretzel, but when you have beer cheese, mustard is just in the way.
Yeah,
So-
mustard's in the way. Like if anything, mustard's the palate cleanser. if
Yeah.
that even makes sense.
And I love mustard. I love mustard. I just put that on my hot dog, and that's pretty much it. Is all I put on it. So I love mustard.
Mhm.
But yeah, I gotta go with the mozzarella sticks or the potato skins. That's another one that I could.
Oh,
get
potato
down
skins.
on.
Oh, yeah,
man.
hell
I
yeah.
love those.
Yeah.
All right. Well, me, I love egg rolls, spring rolls. So if I go to any restaurant, whether it's a Chinese or Asian restaurant, and they have egg rolls, spring rolls on the menu, cool.
Yeah.
See, for
If
me,
I go-
it's ragoons.
If I go, oh yeah, that too. If I go to like steakhouses and stuff like that, if they have like the southwestern egg rolls, hell yeah, get in my mouth.
They
And you
actually
know
got a
what?
spot up this way that's they have Philly cheesesteak egg rolls.
Ooh, ooh. Actually, this Chinese place is like right. It's not even like 5 minutes away from my house. Like 5 minute drive from my house. They just added Philly cheesesteak spring rolls to their menu, and I'm like, yo, y'all trying to kill me? I'll be back next week.
I mean, I would have to come down and check it out, see if it's legit. Because Philly cheesesteak, I mean, it is a real thing that a lot of places can't replicate.
Oh, for real? Yeah.
It's not.
We
a
take
sandwich,
pride in that
It's a
shit.
lifestyle.
We take pride in that, man. Philly loves it.
So is Steakum
Steakum
an
is the
actual representation?
Steakum is a bastardization, but in the correct hands, if someone knows if what they're actually doing with Steakum, like you can make that shit work.
Look, in a pinch, you need something quick. The kids are hungry. Fine, run with it. But I mean, if you want like a legit cheesesteak, you can't go Steakum. You can't.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go. You're gonna go shave your own steak slices and stuff like that, and just get down to nitty gritty.
There you go.
All right. Okay. So, I guess kind of like the whole question about the chips and salsa and the bread rolls kind of rolls us into this. Who all is just dying on nothing but appetizers? This just said screw like getting like the actual menu items and stuff like that, because I'm guilty. I am guilty.
Yeah.
Like I will go. You know what's crazy? I'm guaranteed to spend more money if I decide to just eat appetizers than I am the actual meals, for example.
I can see that.
I kid you not. I will spend $40-$50 quick in a restaurant. I'm like, man, all I did was eat appetizers. I didn't even have a meal.
When I would go to like Chili's or Applebee's or anyone that offers like that pick like 3 appetizers and that as like 3 appetizer plate, that the sample platter, that's always what I picked. And specifically at Applebee's, I would get wonton tacos. and I would get all 3 of my sample powder as wonton tacos. So I would just have 9 of those, and those would be.
Wait, they would allow you to do they would allow you to do
Yeah.
that? 'Cause I feel like
Yeah,
Applebee's out my way would be like, no, you can't do that.
I mean, this is years. I haven't been to Applebee's in a long time. Like the nearest, we used to have like 5 within an hour driving distance. There's 1 now, and not very many people like to go that area. So it's but I haven't been there in a while. But yeah, I would do that. Like I would go. I would just get. I want the appetizer sampler. Okay, what 3 appetizers you want? I go wonton tacos, and wonton tacos. That's all I want. And that's it.
Oh my god!
And I would eat. I love those things.
I've been guilty of ordering just appetizers before, but for me, it's at seafood restaurants.
Oh.
Specifically, there's a place in Key West. I've gone there a couple times. Every time I go to Key West, I go there, and me and a couple buddies, all we do is we get appetizers because they give you a gigantic plate of your appetizer. So like one of us will get fried calamari, one will get conch fritters, and
that sounds good. Conch fritters. That sounds good.
One gets the either the tuna tataki or baked oysters. And man, let me tell you something. When they're delivering you that plate of fried calamari to you as a solo person, it's just like, oh my lord. It is just this gigantic plate of food delivered unto you. There's marinara sauce off to the side. It's delicious. You ever go to Key West? The Conch Republic is where you want to go.
Noted. Noted. Logan, you're guilty of having just dined on nothing but appetizers at a restaurant, right? I know. You've already admitted that you will house like all
he's
the
just
bread
a
rolls.
bread fiend. He's the hamburglar for rolls.
You're muted. You're muted, brother. I still can't hear
You're
him.
still muted.
While he's muted, I would like to just say the Texas Roadhouse rolls are not that good.
Oh, somebody with a hot take here.
There's nothing without the butter.
Okay, had I known this
the butter's
Oklahoma, I would not have come down to Oklahoma.
Okay, Austin.
But like, I refuse to dine with a man who has this belief system. This is like
Austin, defend yourself. Defend yourself right now, because I feel like this is a repeat of
the cinnamon butter. Overrated as well. I've had way better cinnamon butter.
Oh, Lord.
Way better.
God,
better.
I almost
start looking for a new co-host. I'm sorry.
Josh, you want the spot? You want the spot, Josh?
LeRon, do you need to come back full time? I will come back full time.
I gotta say though, Billy Pretzel Factory, they have some legit cinnamon butter, like for real. That's some real good stuff.
Okay, well, Austin, I just need to know then, who actually has better rolls and butter then?
Now rolls, you can't go wrong.
Zoomy just called you out. Zoomy just called you out.
Homemade rolls is the bomb. And I'm gonna say,
I mean, no,
exactly what Texas Roadhouse has. They're made
rolls.
If there's not a fat little white creature apparently on the package, Austin doesn't like it.
No, we don't go with the Pillsbury Doughboy. No. I'm talking real rolls. Now, Texas Roadhouse rolls, I think I would like them more if they were just cooked. I hate rolls that are like that still feel like, they're not cooked all the way through.
Oh, so the problem is you have a problem like a yeasty roll. You have a problem with a yeasty roll.
Legitimately,
he has a problem with thick buns. I mean, that's what we're dealing with here. And,
bro, you don't like thick buns? Get out.
This conversation.
I could say something, but my wife's right here, so I won't say it. The cinnamon butter. There is a cinnamon butter that you can buy at Sam's. I'm telling you this.
Which isn't bad. I will give you that.
There is a Brazil. It's from Brazil. It's made in Brazil, and it is bomb. It is amazing. It's the best that you can buy. 100%.
Okay, so back to the original topic. Yes, I have eaten appetizers as a meal on several occasions. Specifically the potato wedges, man. You get potato wedges as an appetizer? Oh, dude, those are hella good. And then onion rings. Onion rings are rule. Onion rings.
I don't feel
as
like.
well.
Okay. So places like Red Robin, they have their onion rings as an appetizer. But in all
Right.
honesty, I've always considered onion rings a side. And any place that actually offers onion rings, like I will 9 times out of 10 always buy them, unless their onion rings are trash.
So the where does like the bloomin' onion come into factor? Is that a
Oh.
side or is that an appetizer?
Actually, that might be my number one.
Oh,
now that I think
awesome.
about it.
I feel like that's an appetizer. I honestly feel like the blooming onion is an appetizer
Okay.
because I mean they use Outback, for example. Like every time I order blooming onion, it's like damn near the size of half a pumpkin.
Now, Texas Roadhouse, good bloomin' onion. I'll give
God
you that.
damn it! Can we get off Texas Roadhouse?
No.
It's leading to nothing but strife for the show.
Well, okay then. So let's go ahead and wrap this up then. Okay, we want each person one restaurant. Who has the best appetizers on their menu?
I'm too cheap to order a starter, so yeah.
Not even for the 2 for $25.
So I mean, next time for the 2 to 20, the 2 for $25 though, I usually end up asking if I can sub in a dessert instead.
Oh.
Never as good of a value, okay? But I'm so indecisive that it's the only way I can get out of the restaurant quickly.
I don't know. I don't know if I could say one or the other. Chili's used to be good, but it's not. Their appetizers aren't good anymore.
Chili's used to be good, in my opinion. Freaking Bonefish Grill used to have really good freaking appetizers, and now the only thing I want from there is Bang Bang Shrimp. Are we gonna be like undecided? We're not gonna call a name out,
Actually,
a name that's not Texas Roadhouse.
I know Josh. There's one in Dallas, so I know they're in Texas, but Cheddar's used to have really good.
Cheddar,
appetizers.
Cheddar's used to have.
I don't know if they go.
Cheddar's has gone by the wayside.
That's true. That is true.
I didn't know if it was the same for you all, but like ours here is like really gone downhill. They took the onion rings off the menu, which is like blasphemy to me. That's the best thing that was there.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yeah, Cheddar's is also like gone downhill here.
I
too.
like
and
I like
the sad
P.F.
part-
Chang's appetizers.
Okay, P.F. Chang's
That's
has
a
some
good
good appetizers. I
That's a
can't
good
say the
one.
rest. I can't say the rest of their food is good, but P.F. Chang's has some good appetizers.
I'd say Buffalo Wild Wings has some really good ones.
Yeah.
If you want to go ahead and sit down,
Oh.
chill for a game.
Hey Wesley,
Yeah.
since you bring up Buffalo Wild Wings, how do you feel about the curd burger at Buffalo Wild Wings?
Who the fuck is getting a burger at Buffalo Wild Wings?
Every now and then I partake in the.
It's like getting something other than pancakes at the International House of Pancakes.
Hold on.
Just go ahead and say something real quick. I make sure I test out burgers every single place I go. I don't care. I don't care where it is. I always get
Wings
the
are
burger.
in the name.
Look,
And they
that
do
doesn't
that
mean I
in
don't
shitty
get wings as
too.
the appetizer.
You know
though.
what? You know
I
what?
get
I'm
wings.
with Wes and Logan on this one because every now and then when I go to Buffalo Wild Wings, I hit the nacho burger. God damn it!
Thank you.
LeRon, for somebody who's supposed to eat healthy, you sure as hell eat less healthy.
No, dude. Trust me, I spend.
Secretly a fat kid. We've discussed this.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah.
now.
Yeah, okay. Listen. There was a time when I was over 300 pounds. Trust me, I know how to fucking eat. I know how to eat. Like I just have too big a family history of like heart disease and diabetes and all that stuff that I was like, yo, kid, you gotta get this shit under control or you're gonna die. So I work out.
I will ask you then, Ron.
Huh?
I'm gonna ask you then. If I were to say best fast food burgers, would you put Buffalo Wild Wings burger in there?
No, because I don't know because honestly,
we gotta. I want to hear this because this is Logan's argument that it's the best fast food burger.
No.
okay. First of all,
order from Wendy the waitress, it is not fast food.
I was exactly,
There you go.
Josh.
Josh has.
Exactly. I was just about to say the same thing too. Like Buffalo Wild Wings are a different echelon of food that is no longer fast food. Because you have to go sit down, you have to wait for that order to come out to you, and it comes out to you. It comes out to you a lot longer than like say you roll your ass through McDonald's or something. You know, it comes out to you a lot longer. Your wait is a lot. Your wait is long enough that you actually order a beer.
In my defense, Austin, because this is actually 2 years to the day that this episode that we're referring to came out, it was never top 10 fast food burgers. It was just top 10 burger places.
No, it was fast food burgers.
Fast food burgers. I listened to it today.
Okay,
There is
so
nothing
why
fast
the
and
heck
arguably
is
debatably
Sonic
nothing
on
food
there?
about Buffalo Wild Wings.
Why is Sonic on there? Why is Wendy's on
Regular
there?
burgers
Why is
that we
McDonald's
went to.
Who
on
the
there?
fuck is
Why
putting
is Carl's
Sonic on their
Jr.
best fast food
Sonic
burgers? You
makes a good
monster!
burger.
I get a
Sonic
chicken
makes
sandwich from Sonic. I do not get a burger from Sonic.
Sonic is walking, well, technically driving food poisoning.
We don't even have them around here anymore.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Good,
saying,
you're a better
Josh.
community for it.
If Sonic is on the best fast food burgers list, Logan considers Sonic to be on his best burger place list. That's how bad this is.
God, LeRon, get us out of here.
Okay,
I
I'm
can't do a show with this man.
rapping.
I am very uncultured. Okay, I know barbecue as okay. Yeah, I know barbecue like the back of my hand, but I do not know burgers. Okay.
Oh my god, I'm wrapping this. I'm wrapping this segment up. If you guys are listening right now, if you guys are listening to this, hit us up at PS_Crossroads on Twitter. Let us know about some of your favorite appetizer foods, whether or not you just pig out on appetizers, and who has the best appetizers on their menu.
Tell Logan he has bad taste.
That too.
I want to bring up one
We've been
more
doing
thing
it for
though.
2 years since we founded Lay
All right.
Party, y'all.
I
All
want
right,
to bring up
Austin,
one
you have the
more
floor.
thing.
Austin.
You have the floor.
Because Zumi 2009 talking about Mountain Dew and donuts again. I just like to say that there's another disciple that has now turned away, and they admitted to me. I'm not gonna say who because his recent taste of burger. No, shut up! Shut up!
Okay,
Shut
hold
up.
on.
Wait, what? Wait, what? What's going on here?
Okay, so my
What's the-
first day in Oklahoma, I was starving, right? And I didn't have anything to do. I'm like, you know what? What's an Austin typical meal down in Oklahoma? And I was like, you know what? A Mountain Dew and a glazed donut. So what's Quick Trip? As I was coming into town, right before I met them all for the aquarium, had me a donut, had me a Mountain Dew. Now, is that the reason I shit myself the rest of the day? Probably, but you know.
Hold on, you did it wrong though. You did it wrong though.
You got a donut at Quick Trip. That's not good.
You-
Quick Trips
you-
and donuts are oof.
But wait. If I'm not mistaken though, because I was paying attention to Austin, you did it wrong though, because you're also supposed to have what, like a sausage sandwich or something.
A sausage
Yeah,
roll.
but you know,
A sausage roll, there we
likes to
go.
bring that part up either. They just like to talk about the donuts and Dew. That's all they want to throw out. Even though
Now,
I
hold
said
on.
sausage roll.
So if I converted you on that, or if you converted me on that, I did convert you to Kansas City barbecue sauce because I wrote some sauces down and
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
I don't know
Did you do the
heard it, I
chocolate
just
sauce?
looked at it.
Did you
I
do
did not.
the
I
chocolate
did not
brownie?
bring a chocolate sauce.
It's
I
not like
did
you
not- I
showed
did
up
not
with a
do that.
Jehovah's Witness to my house. You just said, "Hey, try this barbecue sauce."
You tried it. Tried Max. You tried Gates. You tried LC's. You tried Joe's, and you like
Oh
Joe's.
god!
I mean,
Oh my god! Here are some play.
down 100 nuggets as a group, and I still don't really understand.
Welcome
how
to
we
the
did that,
internet's favorite PlayStation podcast.
Speaking of which, here are some PlayStation blurbs the Crossroads crew thought you might be interested in. First up on the list, Marvel's Avengers creative director leaves Crystal Dynamics, and guess what? Rejoins Naughty Dog. That's right.
but-
So,
Sean,
okay, like real quick though, like I'm okay with this because this is the guy who wrote the Kamala Khan part of the campaign.
uh-huh. Mhm.
So him going
Okay.
back to Naughty Dog, okay, cool. He wrote Lost Legacy, so okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
I-
I'm okay with this. This is awesome.
I'm all with it. I didn't know that part about him, but
Yeah.
but yeah, the person in question we're talking about is Sean Eskag, the former Naughty Dog developer who left the company to work on Marvel's Avengers. He has announced that he has left Crystal Dynamics and has returned to Naughty Dog. In a post on Twitter, Eskag wrote that he is happy to be back with the dogs. I love it. He also included a picture of what we presume to be a welcome kit all new Naughty Dog employees get. That's kind of jacked up. He got the welcome kit twice. That's kind of
I'm
jacked
digging
up.
that coffee mug though. That's legit.
Yeah, it
I
is,
want
yeah.
Yeah.
In a follow-up tweet responding to a fan about Marvel's Avengers, Eskag insisted that Marvel's Avengers is in good hands. So you know what? Welcome back, Sean. It's good to have you back in the house. You know, us PlayStation and Naughty Dog fanboys love you.
And he's extremely right, though. The game is in such a great place going forward. I mean, we got an amazing Black Panther DLC coming. And did you guys see the rumors this week about Spider-Man?
Yes.
Yuri Lowenthal
Yes.
is voicing Spider-Man.
He's reprising the role.
He's reprising the role, but in the
Nice.
Avengers world, which I love. That's why they're taking a little bit longer to do Spider-Man 2, and why it took a little bit longer to get Miles Morales fully produced is because he's also voicing stuff over there too.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Next up, Resident Evil Village PlayStation resolution and frame rate details have been revealed. This is going to be a fast one. Capcom has revealed the Resident Evil Village PS5, PS4, and PS4 Pro resolution and frame rate modes available on the systems when the game launches. The PS5 version will offer 4K 60 frames per second mode with HDR and a 4K HDR mode, along with ray tracing running at 45 frames per second. Both of these modes are impressive and should make the game look stunning visually. Yes. PS4 Pro owners will get access to 4K HDR modes at 30 frames per second when they select high resolution and a standard 1080 60 frames per second mode. The game on a regular PS4 will run at 900p at 45 frames per second. Resident Evil Village will look stunning no matter where you play, but PS5 owners are really in for the treat. Our next blurb.
9-foot tall women in glorious 4K.
Or 900p, depending on how you're playing the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the polygons of the people stepping on me that I want to see.
Okay, quick. Okay, because it wouldn't be Crossroads without quick tech talk from LeRon in the show. 900p is not anything substantial. It is not, and I don't mean that as in saying like 900p is going to look like crap. No, 900p is not a big enough of a drop in resolution for you to notice that it's going to look bad or anything like that. So if you guys are already getting your hackles up, like don't. You're barely going to notice 900p. Like,
can you go back in time and tell everybody who freaked out in the first year of PS4 and Xbox One this conversation?
Josh, my time machine is broken. I don't know what happened. I went and checked on it in the garage last weekend, and it would not start. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it. I'd love to. If
Damn,
somebody
I'm
wants
going to have to get stepped on in 900p then. Let's go.
Everybody
All
got
right.
their thing.
Video of her chasing you into another room. She fucking has to crouch to get through the doorway.
That was
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, that's fucking scarier than any werewolf dog they could throw at me. I'm like, nope.
For real.
Nope.
For real.
Nope.
How many people?
Next
Everyone's gonna be running backwards though.
fine.
They'll never finish the game.
No one's gonna get through the door.
I'm gonna restrain myself. Let's go.
All right, and speaking of Spider-Man Miles Morales, our next blurb: Spider-Man Miles Morales has outsold The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima in the United States.
As it freaking should.
That's
real.
fucking wild.
For real. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales has already outsold PlayStation 4 juggernauts The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima in the US, despite launching in mid-November. Now remember, the PS5 is barely 5 months old right now. Barely. As a matter of fact, it's not even exactly 5 months old yet. It still has 2 more days before it hits the 5 month.
Also, keep in mind this game was $20 cheaper than the other two, so I mean that might have had something small to do with it.
It's also cross-platform.
Price point
It
works
is
out.
cross-platform.
Cross-platform as well.
Yeah, but the adoption rate, as far as I understand on this game, with PS5s is basically 1-to-1 right now. It's pulling up Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Naughty Dog's survival horror sequel, The Last of Us 2, released in June, while Sucker Punch's historical open world, The Ghost of Tsushima, deployed in July. And although it should be noted that Spider-Man Miles Morales released on both platforms, it should be noted that, just in case, because someone out there is going to quibble it. Maybe even one of our Power Block friends, they might quibble that. But anyway, MPD data.
Nope, don't say his name.
Don't invoke the name. Don't invoke the name.
It's gonna be like Beetlejuice over here.
NPD data cites Miles Morales as the 5th best-selling game from the past 12 months, while The Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima are locked in the 7th and 8th places respectively. The data takes into account both physical and digital sales, so it paints an accurate picture for the United States at least. So yeah, they combined it all, because sometimes you see NPD break it down by digital and sometimes you see them break it down by physical. They combined all the units this time around. And
That's impressive.
Yeah.
It's
it
impressive. Like, it's not so much impressive about Ghost of Tsushima because, like, that was a game that was kind of like not the best received in the U.S. I felt like, but to beat Last of Us Part 2, especially with the hype that game coming in, I know some people were disappointed afterwards, but like that's impressive, especially for a mini, like not even a full Spider-Man game. Like this is kind of a 12-hour campaign around. Is that what you did it in?
Yeah. I mean, if you're taking your time, 12 to 15 hours. If you're taking your time.
Like,
because I'm on 10 right now on my new game plus mode. I'm on 10 hours, but I'm taking my time, and I haven't even gotten like half the collectibles done yet.
I'm not overly shocked by this. I'm surprised that it happened so quickly, though.
Yeah,
me too. I thought it was going to take at least.
I think part of it is that like when you buy a PS5, you have to have something to play on it, obviously, and that's. Let's be honest, that's the game that you're going for if you buy a PS5. Like Demon's Souls, as good as it is, appeals to a very niche audience.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
that's
Returnal,
only 20 units,
yeah,
there's only 20 PS5s out there.
Dude, it feels like it. I'm still playing the lottery like 3 times a week. Returnal isn't out yet. Ratchet and Clank isn't out yet. Like you gotta
Resident Evil
think,
isn't out yet.
Well, like this is the premier exclusive right now.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Nobody is buying a PS5 and going, "Oh boy, I bought this for Sackboy's Big Adventure." No, you bought this for Miles Morales. Okay, let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's true.
You're not buying this for Destruction All Stars.
As a matter
you're
of fact,
buying this for Miles.
As a matter of fact, before I even had my PS5 secured, I already had a copy of Miles Morales in my house.
I have one. It's back in my bedroom right now. I bought the Ultimate Edition so that I can make sure that I get it because knowing Sony, they're going to get rid of that, and I'm going to have to buy that and Spider-Man Remastered separately.
Yep.
So I already secured the bag.
All right, in our bonus blurb, we have a bonus one tonight. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. Logan's already clapping. is free starting today. That's right.
Maybe I'll finally finish it.
The Play at Home event is still going on, and from today through May the 14th, Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition is free to all PlayStation customers. PlayStation Plus is not necessary, so stop sleeping on this game. If you haven't gotten it yet, I'm a little pissed at myself because I just bought the game recently, and now it's free. But anyway,
I bought it, I played it, and now I'm going to download it and then play it with all the DLC and everything else that comes with it. Like I am so excited for this.
There's your incentive
Wesley's
right
become
there.
my favorite person on this podcast.
There's your incentive right there for that. The Play at Home event was the Play at Home event was brought back this year by Sony as an effort to ease the stress brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic and more people staying at home. As a result, it started on March the 25th and is set to run a total of 4 months. So there you go. Like if I'm not mistaken, there's almost 20 games available now that you can get. And it started out with the PS4 Ratchet and Clank game, and now it's ending with the I was about to say Last of Us, Horizon Zero Dawn. It'd be nice if The Last of Us showed up as a free as a free title part 2, but it'd be nice. But I don't think
celebration of The Last of Us Remastered that no one asked for. Here's Last of Us Remastered, the old one, not the one that we're making now.
Game.
Oh my God. Austin has to bring that salt, I swear. To get the scoop on all these blurbs, links have been provided in our Twitch stream chat. Go check them out and then continue the conversation with us on our Twitter page at @PS_Crossroads. Man, we're having fun tonight, aren't we?
Rana's just flying through this.
Well,
You sound like you're out of breath.
Yeah, and guess what? Like I am officially 10 days past my second COVID vaccine, so now I can go and be buck wild and get COVID and not die.
Monday. Get my second shot Monday.
Which version? Which one is it?
Moderna.
Which house are you?
Moderna.
Yeah, same here. Moderna. Yeah.
That's the thing, because I caught COVID at Christmas. So
you know what? Well, what I've heard is age is a factor, but also if you caught COVID, this second round of the vaccine is going to slam you. So just get prepared, man. Just be prepared. I
got sick days. I'm ready for it.
I don't want to frighten you or anything, but because
I never got it, but it beat the shit out of me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I was really, really sick. So because they asked me when I got my second shot, they're like, "Hey, did you have any symptoms the first time around?" I was like, "Yeah, I had a pretty bad migraine for a couple days, and I felt a little nauseous." And the pharmacist kind of looked at me for a second, and he goes, "Well, all I'm going to tell you is you're going to go through some things over the next 48 hours." And I was like, "What's that?" I was like, "What's that supposed to mean?" And he was like, "Well," he goes, "Son, take these Tylenol before you leave the store." And I was like, "Oh, that's definitely not a good sign." Okay. Can confirm, went through some stuff for the next 48 hours.
My pharmacist advised me to like see how it goes, and if you start feeling bad, throughout the day, then take the Tylenol. I did not get to take the Tylenol now before you walk out of this bitch.
So the same thing happened to my girlfriend. My girlfriend's a nurse. The same thing happened when she got the second shot. She was knocked on her ass. They deliberately gave her a couple days off. But
okay. So here's something weird. One of the things I've heard, and I've kind of seen this in a lot of my friends and stuff, because I have friends across all age spectrums. Apparently, in women, the COVID vaccine hits them a lot worse than it hits men. And I'm sorry, I was basically living like I had the man flu, like two weekends ago. Austin and Logan, you guys were on the freaking Boss Rush podcast that I hosted. I looked fine, but I was faking that shit like nobody's business. I was faking it.
Dude, I was running 101 fever. I had chills. I had a migraine that like every time I took a step on the hardwood, like it just pounded throughout my body. I didn't get out of bed for like 2 days. It was terrible.
All right, Josh. I know it's not a competition, but I had a 103-degree temperature. I did not have the chills.
You story topper.
I did not have the chills.
This
but
is
guess
my
what?
sympathy hour, not yours. This is your weekly sympathy hour.
I did not have the chills, but guess what I did get because of the fever? I got the delirium dreams, and I got and a fucking cold sore broke out on my damn upper lip.
Did you bite it?
Maybe I did.
Because that's the worst. That's the absolute worst. I feel like Jim when he keeps biting his in the cold open to the office. He's like, "Pam, I'm going home." That's what I feel like I do every time it happens. I just like go slam the bathroom door as hard as I can.
And yeah, my headache lasted for 6 days. Like I didn't notice I did not have a headache until like Wednesday or Thursday the next week.
Damn.
Yeah, and I'm one of those people, I can't function with a headache. I can't function with a headache. Saturday and Sunday it felt like, you know how it feels like, have you ever been in a fight and okay, I've gotten to a point where someone's like tripped me up in a fight, and basically I had to do like the whole like get on the ground and protect your head type deal. If someone's been punching your head, that's how my headache felt. It felt like somebody had just been wailing on my head, and every time I looked, every time I moved, every time I got out the bed, like it was like, oh God, I'm just gonna collapse.
That sucks.
Yeah, so welcome to another episode of LeRon's a Little Bitch. But hey, it's time to talk about the news and events.
Glad you said it. We were all thinking it.
I'll let y'all know next week how it goes.
Oh yeah, we'll keep. What I did want to say, what I was trying to say earlier though, is
God damn it.
With women, I've heard like it hits younger women worse than it hits older women, and by older women I mean women post menopause. A lot of ladies I know that are past menopause, they're like we barely.
Because LeRon has friends across the entire spectrum. Remember?
I do. I mean,
he does.
I mean, what can I say? I turned 46 in June. I know all manner of ladies, young and old. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Man, that's right.
Kids,
and he had the hand too, just like it just.
This is why you tune in the Crossroads.
There you go, Zoomy. Bow chicka wow wow.
All right, guys. Let's start the news and events. How about that? All right. First up, the PlayStation Store on PS3 and PS Vita will continue operations. Yes. Yes, this news comes to you directly from Jim Ryan on the PlayStation blog. Jim Ryan, President and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment, released a statement on the PlayStation blog informing the community that players will be able to continue to purchase games on PS3 and PS Vita. Thank God, because Austin and Nelly were getting ready to hold a funeral service.
For my wallet, because I was about to buy every PlayStation Vita game I could possibly buy.
I need to get Patapon too. I need to get that game.
Austin was going to be alone on Vita Island if it meant the death of him.
Oh,
He was singing Boulevard of Broken Dreams as he was just going to that PS Vita store one last time.
I bought my Vita Means Death shirt. I was ready to have a Viking funeral, you know, and I was gonna go with it. I was gonna go with the ship.
Wait. Does it who would have been your honor guard that would shoot the arrows and set it on fire?
Myself, I would just stick it up in the air and just let it fall. I would do it like Ronos played Arrow Roulette.
He was dangerously close to being Denethor in Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
Oh God!
He was going to be holding the Vita up and be lit on fire, and that's when Jim Ryan runs in and announces, "No, we're keeping the store," but he's already on fire.
Oh man!
I'll be like, Jim Ryan, are you still CEO? He's like, yes. I'll be like, I'm good. Just leave me. Let me die.
This is after Sean Layden and the writers of the Rohirrim have ridden into the city.
Yeah.
Austin, was this like when they killed the League and Robbie set the boat on fire?
Well, Austin,
I was gonna say,
Austin was,
like in Lord of the Rings when he gets on that boat at the end to go be with the elves. I was gonna be like that and go see Sean Lay and Shuhei Yoshida, where the fun PlayStation is, not this business PlayStation we got now.
Well, you know what's funny though is like Austin in his round of shade, like, you know, he was celebrating the news that, you know, PS3 and Vita were living on, but he also was like, yeah, screw backwards compatibility on PS4 and PS5.
I said, okay, AKA we are not getting backwards compatibility. Stop asking.
All right, just to sum this up real quickly. Jim Ryan stated that recently we know that we've notified players the PlayStation Store for PS3 and Vita devices was planned to end this summer. Upon further reflection, however, it's clear that we made the wrong decision here. So today I'm happy to say that we will be keeping the PlayStation Store operational for PS3 and PS Vita devices. PSP commerce functionality will retire on July the 2nd.
So I wrote the write-up yesterday for BossRushGames.com, and one of the things I put in there was that this feels like Sony saying, hey, here's a little favor. We're hoping that this can hold you off for a little while, because I don't think they have anything ready for us until June. And I think fans are getting more and more upset that we don't know anything about these supposed summer releases. We haven't heard anything about Forbidden West. We haven't heard anything about Ragnarok in a while. Mm-hmm. And I think Sony is delaying telling us some bad news. So they try to give us a little something early to let us think that they're on our side again before they're about to just wreck our worlds.
Xbox fans, first time.
I enjoy just seeing everybody just go crazy about, the Vita and, the PS3, just everything just going away, and then everybody's completely just rebutting all their tweets.
Yeah.
That's what I was seeing on Twitter like the entire day.
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of weird about this because, like, I understand, like, these marketplaces, they can't stay up for forever, especially if, God, hold on, PS12 is going to be out and we're still playing we're still on the store buying PS4 games. Come on, that doesn't make any sense.
I think part of the frustration comes from the fact that you look at how Sony used to treat backwards compatibility, and like you could play all your PS1 games on PS2, for instance. And then the initial run of the PS3, you could play all your PS1 and PS2 games. Yeah. And then that went away. Like the George Foreman model did not allow for that. And then the PS4 did not allow for that. Obviously, PS5 only allows you to do PS4. I think it comes down to an issue of you look at, and it's always the grass is greener on the other side, right? You look at how Xbox has handled backwards compatibility the last two generations, and it's like, well, shit. Like, they're doing it right. Why can't we? And like, it's not every game, but it's the games that people were actually playing. So I think if Sony came out and was announced like, hey, these 100 games from PS3 are going to work on PS5. like, I understand the architecture is really different. It's a hypothetical situation, or we're going to allow you to buy these digitally on PS5. Then there would be a lot less backlash. Because, I mean, some games like Metal Gear Solid 4, you literally cannot play anywhere else.
Well, Austin, remember last week I asked you and Nelly, does this look like, well, if they went forward with the closures of the stores, I asked you guys, didn't it feel like we may be seeing something coming out like they will actually be opened up on the marketplace on PS5? I did ask that question.
Yeah. I mean, there was like, in a perfect world, we were starting to think maybe they're shutting it down because maybe we're gonna get these at least the PS3 games where we can play them on PS5 in some kind of backwards compatibility fashion. But it just, like, I don't think that was going to happen. I think maybe they're like, hey, we're going to shut down that hope real quick now.
I think they're getting a temporary stay for at most 18 months on this.
Yeah. But now with them keeping the PS3 store open, guess what? Like any plans of backwards compatibility, you might have just screwed yourselves on that one. I don't want to be the Debbie Downer here in this conversation, for you guys, but it's like that. Was that when don't be too quick to let the genie out the bottle, because you never know. You're gonna have the hardest time getting it back in.
I think it also looks really bad. It's always going to look bad if you're the first one doing it.
Yeah.
Like, the 360 marketplace is still up and kicking, and I just think it looks bad because we've never had a store really sunset before. I think the Wii is the closest we've ever gotten. The WiiWare store or whatever it was.
See, that's what I was about to ask if Nintendo did anything similar.
I think that's the only one, and you didn't get nearly as much outrage because I think so many of those games that people wanted were still available elsewhere, or come to the Switch or to like Xbox and PS4 by this point. When you go to inevitably close the Xbox One and PS4 stores in like 10 years, I think that's when you're going to have a big issue. Going forward, I think you have to keep that preservation going.
Yeah, and you know what? That's a good point because starting with the PS3 and the Xbox 360 age, there was a push for digital. So now we're as a game,
the first time we had digital.
Yeah, as gamers, we started to embrace it. And I'm not saying we embraced it wholeheartedly because there's still arguments about physical versus digital, online all the time. Like, oh, I'm gonna buy this game physical, I'm gonna buy this game digital, but now we're coming to it. I think they said more than 50% of game sales now are actually digital. More than
over
50%.
Yeah, we've officially crossed the 50% mark.
Yeah.
As of, it was last year before the new consoles even came. It was like last spring we crossed it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
pre-pandemic, and I think the pandemic forced you into
the pandemic.
That.
The pandemic, because there's no way in hell I was going to GameStop where all those mouth breathers are at, like buying a damn. Well, number one, I don't.
Animal Crossing is a game I normally would have bought physically because I probably would have sold it after a couple weeks. But I bought it digitally because I couldn't get a physical copy anywhere around me when this was starting to happen.
Yeah. Well, number one, I don't shop at GameStop anyway, but that's neither here nor there.
No, we're a Target household.
I've long been in the camp though that Sony needs to take out a play out of Nintendo's playbook and create like a PlayStation 1 collections and throw it as part of the PlayStation Plus membership. Throw like the 50 best PlayStation 1 games. Obviously, like the Spyro and Crash games would get a little confusing because of the remastered, but like put the classic versions up in a collection that's easy to get to, that's easy to use. Put PlayStation 2 games up there too. They've been out so long. As long as you're going to keep the PS3 market open, then you need to at least help gamers out in the PS1 and PS2. Because, I mean, I still like to fire up my PS2 once in a while and play some classics. The other thing that I was thinking here, too, is there has been rumors again, and I know we get this about every year as we're in the build to E3, but there has been rumors again of Vita 2, which I still don't think is ever actually happening from Sony. But if they were releasing a new one, I could see why they would shut the Vita store down just to allow those engineers to start working on the new store.
For me, the Vita store, and this is going to break everybody's heart. I love the Vita, but the Vita store and the PSP store closing were the two that made sense to me. The PS3 is the one that was a little wonky to me.
Yeah, it was a little off.
Let's be honest, as much as I like the Vita was not a successful product.
Yeah.
But it still has a hardcore fan base.
No, it absolutely does.
That comes out, it's getting bought.
Right. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, overall, where do you think you're going to continue to do business? I think that you're probably still going to get some PS3 business. People buying those older games, if they bought a used console, gotten one passed down. Either way, this is a unique situation. Sony is learning how to navigate this for the first time. And I just think honestly, like the crews at Xbox and Nintendo gotta be like, oh, thank fuck we're not the ones doing this first. Thank God we're not taking the PR hit on this. Now whoever goes to do it is gonna have less of a hit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like it's
what's
like
crazy? You know what's crazy though? Normally
these stores. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying. Normally, it's Microsoft that does shit like this first. So it really
they already had their PR blunder for first quarter. We tried to hike the price of Xbox Live Gold up. In this economy, we tried to double the price of gold and give you games that are 3 times as shitty. But
it was literally the Simpsons meme of that one dude walking in, putting his hat on the rack, and then walking back out.
In all reality, I mean, that's the quickest PR turnaround I've ever seen. Less than 12 hours later, it was reversed. But
and not to mention what's happened since that point for them. I mean, obviously this is a PlayStation podcast, but you mean everything since that point has been just moving in the right direction, going up. For,
that's
Microsoft.
true.
For me, and we'll get to this later on, but this kind of ties in with the recent trend of news we've seen over the last 6 or 7 weeks, where it's just like, how many more blunders can you possibly have? Like, I know this was one of the initial ones. Like, you had Japan studio closing, you had this happen, then you had that Bloomberg report, and now you're reversing this, and it's good that we're reversing it, but this is probably a conversation we shouldn't have had to have until at least next summer or next fall, I would say.
True.
Like when they come out next fall and say, all right, we're going to sunset the PS3 store for real in December, I think that everyone's going to go, okay, well, here we go then. It's time. Like
when they stop doing these lotteries for PS5s, then go ahead.
Right. PS5 has to be in stock, though. It has to be I could go to Walmart today and buy one instead of.
But I mean, it's not like we're closing the PS4 store. It's the PS3, which is now 2 generations back. Again, outside of a handful of games that have not made the leap to PS4, that didn't get remastered, like God of War or The Last of Us or the Uncharted trilogy, I don't know, there's maybe 15, 20 games people are clamoring for. Why not find a way to make those? Why not find a way to put those on the PlayStation store to make them playable?
But again,
I don't know what is so hard about this.
But again, it's still it's not a question for the Uncharted series to get remastered and be put on a PlayStation store within by the end of the year. I mean, if they're doing Prince of Persia, they have to be at least considering Uncharted at this point. I
was more referring to the fact we already have the collection on PS4.
Wait, the Nathan Drake collection is available to play on PS5.
Right, but it's not a 4K remaster, and there's rumors of that coming though.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. I wasn't aware of that.
So that's the studio the support studio that was doing the Last of Us remaster initially or the remake, quote unquote, wanted to do Drake's Fortune originally, and they were told it would be too expensive and too ambitious. So that's why they did The Last of Us instead.
Actually, I can see that because I can see that.
And ironically, that's the one PlayStation game I think that needs it above all else is the original Uncharted, because it's damn near unplayable.
Yeah.
So, but that's neither here nor there. Good, you're keeping the stores open. We'll revisit this in 12 months.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right, next news topic. Sony invests huge in Epic Games. I think this is also going to be a fast one here. This news comes to us from our friends at GameRant.com. Epic Games is one of the fastest growing companies in recent years, having launched its own PC gaming storefront and a new Unreal Engine, the Unreal 5 engine, after the massive success of Fortnite. Recent investment fund yielded, not funding. There we go. I got tongue-tied finally this episode. Recent investment funding yielded $1 billion for the company, a huge chunk of which came from none other than Sony. The Sony Group Corporation invested $200 million in the overall $1 billion in his most recent round of investments. It's a huge sum of money that Sony CEO Kenichiro Yoshida said would strengthen the collaboration between the two companies. Sony's $200 million investment in Epic Games is a signal of their close relationship and future of collaboration between the two companies. Question. For a second year, Sony has invested big with Epic Games. The year before, they released $250 million for that. With previous exclusives such as Detroit Become Human, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Death Stranding already available on PC, could we be looking at the start of more infiltrations of Sony IPs into the computer gaming scene soon? And yes, we will be talking about Days Gone soon. We'll be talking about that real soon.
Yes.
I don't even think it's just PC though. I think it's also mobile too. You look at later on in this statement, they talk about Rocket League. Rocket League's coming to mobile. Fall Guys is expected to hit mobile by the end of the year.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
This is Sony diversifying their portfolio in a way that, like, now they're available on 3 different consoles. You don't have to strictly be a PlayStation fan to enjoy their content.
I think this comes at a couple of different points, right? Like, I think Logan hit the nail on the head with the mobile. Mm-hmm. You had the Aloy skin and the Kratos skins in Fortnite. I expect to see more collaborations like that. Maybe even like in terms of story content, a la The Mandalorian.
Yep.
And then what I think the biggest deal here, though, is the potential for PlayStation games going to PC to be exclusive to the Epic Game Store. But also, remember, Epic is getting into publishing. Epic has deals with Playdead. They have deals with Remedy. Remedy's next 2 games are being published. What if those come and are timed exclusives to PlayStation 5 now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
of 6 to 12 months, because let's be honest, like, we know that Sony is going fast and furious, no pun intended, after third-party exclusivity this generation. They have Square locked down right now. Mm-hmm. And why not try to get Remedy locked down, like a former studio that basically was a Microsoft internal studio.
Microsoft, yeah.
Yeah. Why not try and lock them down? Like, that one I think is a bit more complicated, even with Epic publishing those. But like Playdead, that's a huge indie studio. You get their next game, again, another one with close ties to Microsoft. You get their next game for a year or 2 exclusive to you.
Oh, dude.
Cool. Like, you get the makers of Limbo and Inside to make their next one exclusive to any platform, and that's going to be a big get.
Oh yeah.
Well, and like the Fortnite collaborations have just been nothing but money for them to begin with. Anyway, I mean, you look at God of War. I saw a stat a few weeks ago that God of War is finally getting younger players because of Fortnite, because they're seeing this character in a game that they love, and now they're begging their parents, "Hey, I want to go play God of War." Mm-hmm. Cool. So now we're seeing the next generation come in and play a game that is unbelievable, and now with Aloy in it too, a lot of players are going back and playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and now Sony freaking timed that perfectly now with the Play at Home initiative too.
Mm-hmm. Good, perfect timing.
I mean, I think a lot of us, when they were announcing all the Hunter characters, that's really when the multiverse thing like blew open, and it wasn't just like Marvel and DC.
Yep.
And you Mandalorian, Master Chief, Kratos, and everyone's like, well, where the fuck is Aloy? And well, it's clear now that we were holding Aloy to line up with Play at Home, which is a great idea. Like, why not tie those initiatives together? Like, oh, hey, you enjoy her so much, you can get the game for free now.
You can get the game for free on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Play the game. We're going to get you to fall in love with this.
Yeah, you can't.
In July, and that's a game that I think is far more of an easier sell to parents than God of War.
Yeah, you can't get it for free on PC, but you can get it on PlayStation.
I mean, dude, if you go look at some of those Steam sales, you can practically get it for free.
For real. Yep.
So, and I think that this also, like, again, I think that this is almost a way, if they start making their games more towards the Epic Store, the Sony exclusives that come, is a way to counteract the closer relationship that Microsoft and Steam seem to be having.
Yeah.
Like, so many Xbox games are coming to Steam now, and they're going to be coming day and date. Some of these, like, there's no way Halo Infinite does not launch day and date on Steam. No way.
Mm-hmm. Like, so, LeRon, my bad.
No,
LeRon, I do have a question for you. Do you think PlayStation Now ever comes to PC?
Like, they tried that. Actually, they tried that. If I'm not mistaken. They tried that because I know during the run when the Vita was popular and you could do remote play through your PC with the Vita. They actually had PlayStation Now as a I want to say it was like a starter program on the PC. I remember that being a possibility. Just me personally, I wasn't sold on PlayStation Now back then. I'm still not sold on it now, technically.
Oh, definitely not sold on it now.
Yeah. I mean, would it happen though? Because now has just completely been redone, and it is a lot easier to use.
Here's my prediction. I feel like after Sony gets PSVR version 2 off the ground, they're really going to reassess and take a look at PlayStation Now, because I guarantee you, when they hear. They've got to be hearing guys like me and saying these thoughts that PlayStation Now is just not what I need to be right now. Not when you think of like Nvidia GeForce Now, for example. Like, I mean, like all my games on my PC that I have, like I can stream them on another like Nvidia device on a different television, in a different place and stuff, and it's almost seamless.
Well, we know that's the next step for xCloud, is that they want you to be able to do that. And like Phil Spencer stated, that's one of their goals, is to try and get that into beta sometime this calendar year.
Yeah.
So
plus, you also have Game Pass coming
Right.
to Apple products, and that's gonna
as today,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
They're running the beta right now, and then they're going to go ahead and actually.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're going to drop it in the summer for that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're Sony, you got to be looking at, okay, how do I compete with that? And like PlayStation Now is the obvious solution. Honestly, what I almost wonder with a $2 million investment is, what if you're able to use Epic servers for that, and then we know that Google is selling the Stadia patent.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, they are.
What if Sony goes and buys the patent? Because I've been saying for a couple months now, I really feel like if Sony wants to make a statement, stop buying third-party games, go invest in tech, because Sony is not a software company. They're a hardware company.
They're a hardware company. Yeah.
And whereas Microsoft is the exact opposite. And like they finally solved their hardware issue this generation, and they still have the software. Like, dude, do that, fucking fix PSN, make PSN something worth competing with, other than just, hey, free games, which are awesome. The free games have been amazing for like the last 6-7 months.
Yeah, they
but
have been.
Give me that with better party chat. Give me that with PlayStation Now that is appealing.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, PlayStation Now is honestly their safest bet. They sink a little bit of time and money into it. Yeah. They figure out, they get all the.
Oh, it's gonna be a lot of time, and it's gonna be a lot of money.
Oh yeah. What would you say the last time you were on Crossroads? It's gonna take at least a year and a half, 2 years for them to fully realize this. But it's going. But if they actually focus on it right now, like keep the other R&D branches going, while they're doing other stuff. Like I said, PSVR, they're trying to get that off the ground right now, because I didn't realize there was such a big demand for PSVR stuff. But PSVR basically blew up. Well, virtual reality blew up during the PS4 era, because Sony was a pioneer for it. Just like how they have the indie games initiative, Sony basically had a VR games initiative too going on and stuff like that.
I think Sony has to kind of pick and choose what they want to do here, right?
Yeah.
Because yes, VR got more popular, but the attach rate was still really, really low.
Yeah,
it's
it was
definitely
low.
not where
It was
Sony
low.
wants it.
And the crazy part is, like, most of those VR games, they're not even super expensive. Like I think the most expensive VR game I see is $40, and that's brand new. That's brand new.
The problem is you had a VR headset that had to be able to work on tech that was developed in like 2010, 2011.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like tech that was already, like, as much as I love my PS4, was outdated the second it came out. Like now you've got consoles that are on par with mid-tier PCs. And it's like, okay, if you're gonna make a push for PSVR 2, this is where you do it. This is your chance, like PSP to PS Vita, this is your chance. What do you invest in, though? Do you double down on VR, or do you double down on something you know is going to lose you money in the short term, but will start gaining you money? Like, we know Game Pass is not super profitable right now, but it is getting to the point where it has enough subs and enough people are out of that $1 promotion now that it's starting to turn. Like, there's so many people signing up going, okay, $1 for the first couple months. Shit, this library is too good for me to say no to. You start getting AAA games on there, and especially your exclusives, it starts going, okay, well, if I buy 3 games a year, that pays for this. Like, why on earth wouldn't I have this?
Well, I mean, think about it, though. Like, so the biggest thing that PlayStation has to go ahead and really, have them jump off as opposed to Microsoft is the VR. You don't have anything like that with Xbox at all. So when they go ahead and finally get the PS Now working at least somewhat close to the Game Pass compatibility, of really just having something really good for people to jump into, they're just going to keep on just going higher and higher. They really will.
I think your short term is you have to increase the PS Plus collection.
That's it. That too, because one of the things I'm trying to figure out, okay, when we're gonna get our next batch of 12 games for PlayStation Plus collection. When we're gonna get that next batch? Because I think it's gonna go year by year.
It's gonna be like Logan said earlier. You have to have consoles readily available before you start investing too many resources into that.
True.
But the other thing you need to do, though, is when you get those consoles together, then you need to stop this whole PlayStation Now and PlayStation games, or the PlayStation Plus collection. You need to combine all that and create the Game Pass Ultimate equivalent for PlayStation.
100%.
I like that.
Because, I mean, like, you look at the third-party offerings on there, and I'm sorry, who the fuck is out here clamoring to play Battlefield 1? Like, nobody.
But see, that game still has a cult fan base. It's just like the Call of Duty games. I mean, Battlefield in particular, and I'm just going to use this because you brought it up, is Battlefield has a specific cult, and I don't understand these people. I love them. A lot of them are my friends. But, like, I've never understood why that game has such a high concurrent player rating.
I like the Battlefield games. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's why I'm excited for Battlefield 6. But I'm saying, like, compared to a World War I game, compared to like the newest Call of Duty, or even like, I don't know, like any other popular first person shooter.
You also have to think though. Like I mean, you have to, like, this era right now. I mean, of people. I mean, all of us, all of our ages. We are. I mean, we're living in the age of nostalgia right now. You know what I'm saying? So going ahead and actually, being able to play like an older game, you know what I mean? Even on these newer systems, it kind of has that same feel of going ahead and watching Batman the Animated Series now. You know what I mean? I guess it'll give you that same type of feel.
My biggest problem with the PS Plus collection is, and I promise I didn't mean to segue it off into this, is you look at it and you look at who has a PS5 right now, who is up there F5ing for one day after day. Like, you've played most of those games at this point. Like, why not make that available to PS? What is holding you back from making that available to PlayStation 4 players who arguably need it more? Like, there are still people buying new PS4s.
I would love to do another playthrough of God of War before I inevitably sink my teeth into Ragnarok, and I completely agree with you there on that, Josh.
Yeah. So I don't, especially when you've got things like, we talked the last time I was on here, like Horizon missing on there is baffling. The Last of Us still isn't on it. I mean,
but Horizon's been on and off on it several times
on the PS Plus collection.
Yeah, the PS Plus collection. Okay, so
it was a PS
it was always
a PS Plus month game.
Yeah, it's been a PS Plus game. I meant like as part of the actual their curated collection, quote unquote. Like, why not put things like Concrete Genie on there that people criminally underplayed?
I will say, I think that's coming. I think that's why they're just gonna slowly, because with all the bad news that they're coming out with, they got to have some good news. Like now we're gonna put Horizon on. Everyone can get it now. So.
But like, it's cool. That's cool. But when can I buy a console? Like that's just it. Just keeps coming back to I'm just very baffled that why would you not make that available to PS4 players? I don't know. Maybe I'm just making something out of nothing here.
No, that's a good question, but I don't know, because I don't know what. I feel like when they initially announced the PlayStation Plus collection for PS5 owners, that was one of their first ways of combating some of the stuff that was going on Xbox Game Pass. The only problem is Xbox Game Pass is like freaking Hydra. You cut off one head, two more show up and stuff like that. Because basically what happened is like Game Pass can't lose right now. I mean, crap. Like the ZeniMax Bethesda deal. I mean, hell, MLB The Show is on freaking Game Pass and all that stuff. Like the Game Pass is winning, and Sony is like, we gotta do something to keep our digital marketplace like at least on the playing field. Like we might be 90 yards behind them, but at least we need to be still on the damn field. Logan,
right?
Hot take. Is Game Pass really getting a good deal out of MLB The Show, or did Sony secretly win this? Here's where I'm going to go with this, is that the hardcore audience of MLB The Show is going to spend more time in Diamond Dynasty than any other game mode, right? And to be successful in Diamond Dynasty, you have to buy packs, and you have to buy all these different things. So did Sony kind of win in the long run? Because now Xbox isn't making profit off the game itself. I mean, unless they worked it somehow where they get part of the Diamond Dynasty pack or the currency deals.
They do. It's the same. It's the same on every digital storefront.
Okay.
Whoever owns it gets like 30%. Yeah.
But like, it's still not a bad thing. And okay, my review is going up on Boss Rush this week of MLB The Show. It's really not that great of a game for an MLB The Show game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get why they made it cross-play. Like, I get it why this was the year that they sent it over to Xbox.
I think that the symbolism of it, because I agree with you. I do think that Sony is the long-term winner. But I think that Microsoft wins in the initial, like, court of public opinion of just, like, you see that a PlayStation game is on Xbox, and you're like, oh, shit. Like, this is way bigger than, like, fucking Minecraft Dungeons coming to PS4,
Yeah.
Like, this is this is the equivalent of, like, the Ori and the Blind Forest games going to Switch, and you'd be like, "Oh my god, I didn't think that was going to happen." Like, the show is obviously a much higher pedigree than those smaller games, but for those who like don't know a lot of the licensing agreements that go on behind the scenes, they were unaware that MLB told Sony either you take it multi-plat or we're taking the license away from you. We want everybody to be able to play this. And this is not a Sony decision. Microsoft pretty much went behind their back to make this Game Pass deal. Like, but if I'm Sony, I'm sitting here going, this actually may not be that bad of a deal. We may lose on those initial sales. People may not want to spend $70 on this game. But like you said, they're going to buy the Diamond Dynasty packs.
Yeah.
And they're still making 70% profit on every pack sold on Xbox. They know people buy PlayStations just for the show.
I was in a one of my card trading groups on Facebook the other day, and we were talking about the show, and they were like, this one guy's like, dude, I put like $300 a month into Diamond Dynasty.
What
and
the fuck?
I'm like, are you kidding? But like I see that market is going higher and higher and higher. Like, NFTs are becoming the biggest thing in card trading, and card trading just as in general has the market's just skyrocketed.
Yeah.
But I started to think about that. I was like, and then I ran a few polls within the groups. I was like, how many of you guys play MLB The Show just for Diamond Dynasty and just so you can open packs?
Oh, there.
And the numbers were crazy.
It's like Ultimate Team. Yeah.
It's like Ultimate Team, and it's getting even these older guys, like guys in their 40s and 50s, to go out and buy a PlayStation just so that they can open some packs and play with these old school, because there's a couple old time packs where like you can have like Ken Griffey Jr., Roger Clemens as cards that you can buy in there. It's like these guys are spending stupid amounts of money, and it was a whole part of the show that I never knew about.
That's crazy.
It's absolutely crazy.
Hey, I don't know. We all do suspect stuff with our money when it comes to our passions. So
Sorry, my OnlyFans account speaks for itself.
All right, guys. I've merged this next news topic into the big topic. So, we ready for our big topic tonight?
Do it.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Tonight's big topic. I'm going to ask the question: are gamers truly to blame when an IP gets canceled? Okay. So, just hear me out here. Last week, I touched upon the news that Sony Bend had a proposal for a Days Gone sequel, which was shot down by the powers that be at PlayStation headquarters. This stemmed from another big news that made waves. We're talking about the Bloomberg article, of course, that made waves in the gaming community, and it seemed like two studios at Sony have been directly affected. Okay, so weeks passed now since that news came out about the canning of a proposed Days Gone 2 game. By the way, Days Gone is coming to PC. That's right. Days Gone will be available on PC May 18th, 2021, and it will support 21:9 ultra-wide monitor support, an unlocked frame rate, and much more. The game will be on the Epic Game Store and Steam at $49.99. Now, okay, so in those weeks, in that week past, we know about like a Days Gone 2 sequel getting canned and all everything. Sony Bend and its future has been burning up almost every gaming blog and all corresponding social media sites, like what's up with it and things like that. Days Gone has become somewhat of a cult classic, despite only being released almost 2 years ago. But tonight, I want to have the Crossroads crew and our guests take part in a bigger discussion, because some developments have come up in the week since gamers wondered if Sony had a preoccupation with PlayStation blockbusters. I know. Speaking in David Jaffe's latest YouTube interview, John Garvin, the creative director for Days Gone and formerly with Sony Bend Studio, voiced some strong feelings about the situation revolving around a sequel for Days Gone. Garvin had departed from Sony Bend about 2 years ago, so let's just say he didn't mince any words in his interview. Garvin would tell Jaffe and Len listeners, if you love a game, buy it at fucking full price. I can't tell you how many times I've seen gamers say, yeah, I got that on sale. I got it through PS Plus or whatever, In that segment, Jaffe did challenge him by saying that you won't know if you like a game until you play it, to which Garvin then added, I'm just saying you don't, but don't complain if a game doesn't get a sequel if it wasn't supported at launch. It's like God of War got whatever millions of sales at launch, and Days Gone didn't. I'm just speaking for me personally as a developer. I don't work for Sony, and I don't know what the numbers are. He also went on by saying, "I can tell you that when we were doing Siphon Filter Dark Mirror on the PSP, we got fucked on Dark Mirror because piracy was a thing, and Sony wasn't really caught up on what piracy was doing to sales." All right, back to me now. I'm not a game developer, but I am a game consumer, and I believe that everyone is free to pick and choose when they will purchase or when they will acquire a game. Days Gone had a lot of things going for and against it when it was released, but his biggest criticism about the game out the gate was that the game didn't appear to have real substance. And this was all during pre-release marketing that Sony was doing before the game even launched. A lot of people said it looked like a generic zombie game. And with games like the RE2 remake that had recently come out at that point and The Last of Us previously, it wasn't a big enough of a driving force to get people to say, I'm going to throw $60 on this game at the time. All right, so let's break this down. Days Gone was an unknown game coming from Sony Bend, a studio that had been best known at the time for Uncharted Golden Abyss for PlayStation Vita. The game was met with rather lukewarm reviews at launch, but a lot of PlayStation fans were quick to heap praise and the game warmed up soon after that. IGN gave a review of the game saying that frantic hordes of zombies are exciting, but the world and the repetition are not. And would even go on to describe the game as, this is direct from the IGN review, the game is feeling bloated, like a movie that goes on for an hour longer than it needs to or should be. It's messy and confused, but peppered with genuinely thrilling encounters with rampant hordes of zombies and occasionally breathless firefights. There's a good game in there somewhere, but it's buried in a meandering storyline, repetitive missions, and just too much obligatory stuff to do without an eye on the smaller details that could have given it much more character. Now, I just want you to know, those words that I pulled, that's from IGN's initial article. Because there has been rewrites to that article. They made some adjustments on some things after the game's patches and everything came out. Days Gone also had issues such as frame rate dips on even the PS4 Pro. Now remember, the PS4 Pro is the stronger of the PlayStation consoles that was out there, and the PS4 Pro was having a problem keeping up with some things. That's kind of off. And a rather lengthy cycle of developers' patches, and this resulted in many gamers saying that this hurt their overall enjoyment. In the words of many, Days Gone was a good game, but it had its flaws. All right, so here's how I wrap this up. It's truly remarkable when we get to a place such as right now with games. Days Gone is coming soon to PC, where I'm extremely confident the game will get its biggest boost in sales ever. Over 15,000 people went to change.org for a petition asking for Sony to approve Days Gone 2. We have no word on what's going on, but we're pretty sure Days Gone 2 is not happening. And at this current moment in time, Sony Bend, minus Garvin, is now working on a brand new IP with the backing of Sony, with the complete backing of Sony. It feels like one of the worst win-lose scenarios here in games. I'm sorry. Let me back that up. It feels like the worst win-lose scenarios here with gamers missing out on a possibly good sequel to a game that many grew to love, but also knowing that a studio didn't get closed down like so many others that failed to make a good sales goal. Garvin does bring up a good point about getting games when they are newly released and also about the effects of software piracy in the digital age, but he also misses one very big point. People can't afford every game when it's brand new. If they could, every game would have terrific sell-through numbers in its first weeks, but that wouldn't necessarily mean that every game is good. I wish Garvin well in his future endeavors, and I'm absolutely looking forward to Sony Bend Studio's next outing on PlayStation 5. All right, guys, it's time to talk.
All right, I'm going in for a second.
All right.
I'm in the trenches. The first thing that I take a lot, because I have a lot of issues with what Garvin says, but my biggest thing is when he says if you care about a game, buy it at full fucking price. This was the second best-selling game the month of its release in April. It released with like 8 days to go in the month as well, so it only finished behind Mortal Kombat 11.
Which is a phenomenal game. It sold really, really well as well.
Yeah, it finished as the 19th best-selling game of the year. It's Sony's 7th biggest launch ever. For a studio that has never had a true mega hit, like remember, this is the studio that before Golden Abyss, did Siphon Filter exclusively.
Yeah.
Like, they had games that we liked, but were never like massive hits, right? They were hits in the context of PlayStation 1, but they never released a game on PS3. This is the first console game they had done in like 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And even that last one was a port of a PSP game to PS2 at the very end of the PS2's life cycle. Like, I don't know what more you want. People clearly bought this. They were going to bat for your game online. I can't tell you the amount of criticism I saw directed towards reviewers who said that, hey, this game feels kind of half-baked right now. Like, it's got some really cool ideas, but it feels like it needed like another 6 months in the oven. And that seemed to be the general consensus from the people I talked to as well who played it at launch, who were like, hey, I really like this. I was really looking forward to this. The frame rate dips literally are making it unplayable. Like, the motorcycle was disappearing from underneath the player character. Like, the cyberpunk style issues, just not to that extent. And so
it was close.
I would understand why you're frustrated, especially if you're playing on a PS4 Pro and this is still happening. The fact that it took you 6 to 12 months to fix your game does not mean we should heap praise on you for that. You should have had... Sony is a reasonable enough developer that if you go to them and say, hey, we need some more time in the oven. We know we promised you the game by now. We know we're going over budget. We really need another few months in the oven. They would have said, go for it. We've seen it with God of War. We saw it with Uncharted 4. We saw it with The Last of Us 2. We saw it Ghost of Tsushima. All of these games got delayed. Spider-Man, like, all got delayed in order to make the best possible product. So to me, this feels like a classic case of studio mismanagement at the end of the day. And this is a guy who is desperate to point fingers somewhere else, which is kind of the impression I got from the Jeff Ross interview too. Like, no, it's not me. It's not me. It's on the higher ups, and it's on the players for not supporting us. Like, don't you
love that? Now I'm not saying every developer is infallible. I'm not saying that, because look at. Oh. I mean, like, if we want to talk about snake oil salesmen in video games, we look no further than Randy Pitchford. But anyway, I never liked the narrative. You don't mess with your freaking bankroll, and by your bankroll I mean your customer base. You don't do that. You don't do that because just like I know some people do not like Josef Fares, the creator of the director for It Takes Two and A Way Out. Some people don't like him. Some people don't like it because of his cockiness and stuff like that. The one thing he never does, he never comes at gamers. Yeah. He never comes at gamers. And I just feel like this particular situation with Garvin, it just really sounded like, like he's still butthurt behind things, because Days Gone came out almost 2 years ago. Garvin has been muted. Huh? What was that?
You're muted.
No way.
You're muted on Skype.
Oh. How'd that happen? Hear me now?
Yes.
You good?
Yeah. Okay. What was the last thing I said? I'm sorry.
You don't.
Okay. So basically my whole problem with the whole Garvin thing on Jaffe's show is the fact that he just came at the gamers, the clients and everything, without fully realizing that, hey, like, just like how I said earlier, it was an unknown game from you guys, Nope. Last week, I made an apology to Sony Bend for the fact that I did not jump on Days Gone when it was brand new. It was on my list of games to get, but at the time there was other stuff going on, and also some of the stuff I had seen for Days Gone didn't seem like the game was just going to be up to snuff enough for me to say it needs to be a day one purchase.
The marketing for this game was abysmal.
Yeah,
that too. That's the one thing we can say. Yes, he is right in the way he told his side of the story. Sony did not market it well. But the marketing I did see for the game looked a little chaotic. Made the game.
I said this when it was first unveiled at E3, several years before it came out. When everybody raved about it being the one more thing, I was like, really? Like, the whole zombie thing feels like it's really played out. Like, I've done the Hordes of Zombie thing. I've done it in a shopping mall on the 360. Yeah. Like, I loved Dead Rising because it was so wonky, and I was like, hey, if this does something cool, I'm here for it. Like, I love Sam Witwer. Like, I'll check this out, but a new IP is always going to be harder to sell than a sequel to an existing game. Like, you're comparing your game to the fucking game of the generation in God of War. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how far up your own ass do you have to be to make that comparison and think that you're making a good point? Like, I have no problem saying that the things I've seen of Days Gone since it was fixed, and especially it running on PS5, I actually want to play this game now when I get a PS5, but holy shit, when I see comments like this from a developer, it makes me not want to support anything you work on in the future.
I know.
Because you're blaming us for a game that sold really well. For a new IP to finish in the top 20 when it's a platform exclusive and it's not Nintendo is remarkable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
That does not happen. And I don't understand where you get off coming and blaming the fans who very clearly supported your game. And again, like, we're defending it en masse online. Maybe not in a way that you really wanted them to either. And just, I don't know.
And you have gamers sinking into a lost cause. They're running a petition to bring up a game that Sony says we are not interested in doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the baffling part to me is Sony looks at these sales and goes, oh, no, we're good. We don't want a sequel. Like, I think if this game had been on Xbox, I don't think Phil Spencer could have turned this into a franchise any quicker.
Yeah, I don't understand the reasoning why Sony walked away from the idea of a sequel. Maybe I don't know. I really can't speak for Sony on this. They probably know something that we really don't.
To me, that comes back to what you said last week, though, about is Sony too focused on blockbuster games? And I think that this fits in that because this isn't a super cinematic game. Let's be honest.
Mm.
It's not a God of War. It's not an Uncharted. It's not
a Last
Horizon.
of Us. It's not Horizon.
It's not Last of Us. Yeah, like
hell, it's not even Ratchet and Clank.
That's not to say that it's bad.
Hell, it's not even Ratchet and Clank. Because last couple of Ratchet and Clank games have like a whole cinematic like flair to it now. It's not just some freaking like run and smash stuff game anymore.
I want to say this in the nicest way possible because I don't mean this to be a diss at all. This feels like a game from the old Sony. This feels like a PS3 Sony game.
Yeah.
But prettier. And that's not bad at all. Like, it feels like a late-stage PS3 game that just got delayed repeatedly for, 7 years.
That's fair.
So
now, I would like to bring this up. So, in reference to the question of do gamers control or can gamers get IPs canceled? I almost want to use a John Cena quote, and so don't make fun of me for this, but there's a great promo that John Cena once did where he goes, they have always had control. Referencing to the crowd, with how they spend their money, with what they consume via the internet and what they watch on TV, they've always had the power. So as much as the white noise of social media will help get stuff canceled and stuff like that, it's what are gamers actually going to put their money into?
Yeah.
It's specifically what's the hardcore audience going to look into? Hardcore audience is for games like Concrete Genie to get the funding that it needs. The overall gamers are the ones who get the God of Wars and the Horizons and the Uncharted funded. If an IP gets canceled, it's strictly because of sales, or unless it were such a hostile work environment that it's just completely out of hand.
Also, I will also go and say Sony headquarters probably paid attention to all the reviews, because here's the thing about it, game sale, all these. The companies don't look at sales of a game 3 years after it's been released. They look at it in the first 2 weeks, the first 2 months, the first 6 months. They don't look at it past that. So if the game doesn't do well, the game doesn't review well in the first 6 months, the writing's on the wall. I hate to say it.
And the game sold very well. I mean, we broke it down. It finished 18th on the NPD charts.
Yeah.
But those reviews some of those were pretty scathing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know.
And it wasn't even aimed at the developers. It was aimed at just the product. It wasn't even those reviews. Because I read the 3 different reviews when I was getting this write-up together. They were aimed at the product, not the developers. They had nothing but good things to say about Sony Bend's first outing on a major console.
It's it's a weird conversation to have, I think, because Sony clearly wanted a game like this. It feels like the old one. I don't know. It feels like something that, God bless him, that not Sean Layden. Who was it that came before Sean Layden? I forget his name, but he was always on the stage at E3. He was the head during the back half of PS3.
You talking about Jack Tretton? You talking about Jack Tretton?
This feels like a Jack Tretton move. This game feels like something that he would have greenlit and quite possibly did, frankly.
Yeah.
That him or Sean Layden did. And it almost feels like it was like, all right, let's just get it out there. Let's get rid of it. Like, this game is going nowhere. We're sinking money into it. It's so different than what the goal of Sony seems to be now. Like, Logan brings up a game like Concrete Genie, and that's a game that you're going to get that hardcore audience and you'll be good. Like, that doesn't have to it's the Sean Layden video all over again about Vib Ribbon, right? This didn't have to be a multi-million seller. It was enough that people enjoyed it and liked it because we're here to have fun and enjoy games. And Days Gone, I mean, we don't know how many sunk costs were put into this. I know it was rebooted, I believe, at least once or twice. I think it started out as a Vita game. Like, there's a fascinating history there behind this game and behind Bend in general. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, if you're not making a Days Gone 2, it's because it doesn't fit with the model of how you're doing your games, which is the third person, the cinematic.
Right. Yeah.
So well, and also Sony's drifting more into the hardcore storyline, which Days Gone had a good story. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed the game, but if you're going to be a single player game, they want you to have just the most absolute kick-ass story that you've ever seen. They want something that's going to be able to grip players, and a story that people are going to talk about for years and years. I mean, you look at God of War and why that game is such a huge success is because it was different than any other game in the series because it told such a brilliant, freaking beautiful story.
That's true.
And it feels like something that very distinctly doesn't have an audience on PlayStation. Like this feels like a game that I feel like I'd be browsing the Xbox store and I would see it on there.
If this game had a 10-hour campaign instead of a 30-hour campaign, like, it would have fit that notch perfectly, where it introduces the series, it gets people into that kind of genre and that kind of gameplay, but doesn't take so much time that gamers have to get fully invested into it. Like, 10 hours is a weekend game, and that's what it should have been.
30 hours is a lot to ask somebody to sink into a brand new IP. That's not an RPG.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hell, I think 15, 20 hours is asking a bit too much sometimes. Like 15 is probably your cutoff in all seriousness. Mm-hmm. If you're a brand new IP, you need to have it be as long as Miles Morales.
That's a good benchmark, I think.
Yeah.
Like Horizon, I think, was a combination of the right place at the right time, and it was so different from anything, and it still is different from anything PlayStation's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's probably your one exception, and even that, like, so, like, we know that Sony and Herman Hulst doubted that game was going to be a success. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until after that first E3 showing that they're like, oh my god, like, we may actually stick the landing on this, like, sales-wise. So.
Yeah. All right. Any final words?
Go
ahead.
I was gonna say that I just think that Days Gone, I think when they look at it, they're not looking really at a financial standpoint because I think it made its money and did what it needed to do. I think what it is just, and I'm not going to count the review scores at the first part because there's a day one patch that was like a huge update on Days Gone.
Yeah.
So those 7s could have been 8s. It really fixed a lot of bugginess on that first day because I think the review copies came like 2 weeks before. They had like a giant 20 gig patch like day one. I think it was like a huge thing. So I don't think it's worried about that. And I think that the fact that they're giving Sony Bend another chance to do a brand new IP goes to show you that they trust them.
Exactly.
They're not worried about them.
And they have the full backing and support of Sony too. Like, what more could like Garvin could have stayed in his lane and stayed at Sony Bend and been sitting back fat, but
it seems to me like maybe he's just a little bitter, and maybe with him leaving, that's kind of why they were like, maybe they were already pushing into a new IP was what they were doing, and they didn't want him part of it. I feel like there's some animosity there that's not. They didn't want his baggage, basically. Yeah. And so maybe a new IP is the way to go. I personally would rather have a new IP. I mean, God of War 2 is cool and Horizon 2 is cool, but those are knockouts. Like, those are huge knockouts, and Ghost of Tsushima is a knockout as well. But I don't think Days Gone fits that upper echelon as those games do.
Hmm.
So that's why they're just saying, hey, go ahead and do another IP, and maybe you'll have that game, and maybe you'll get to do that. But it's not like they just shipped them like they did, the second Sony San Diego team or the Santa Monica team, where they're like, all right, go work on Uncharted now. Like they're letting them have their own IP.
Yeah. And I mean, like, if the identity crisis we heard about is to be believed, like, I mean, obviously that studio's gone through some stuff since Days Gone came out.
Yeah.
And even if you're joking internally at Sony about, like that's a Naughty Dog support studio, like that's got to be really disheartening for a studio that's been around as long as Naughty Dog, was critically acclaimed in the PlayStation 1 games with Siphon Filter, and hasn't had an identity for the last 15 years or so. But clearly Sony still has faith in them if they're letting them do a brand new IP. New IP is risky, it's expensive. Who knows? This could be their best game ever. Like, it's not a stretch to think that it could be.
And we'll know 4 or 5 years from now whether Sony Bend is really getting that much trust, or this is something that they're putting them on the back burner, or they're treating them like the second party studio that's working for Naughty Dog. So right now I don't really feel too terrible for Sony Bend. They're getting to make a new IP.
Oh no, yeah, I'm done.
Like Guerrilla's gonna be stuck on Horizon for a while.
It's better being stuck on Killzone.
We know Santa Monica is working on a new project. Like they're wrapping up God of War Ragnarok, and they're working on a new project.
Yeah. But Sony Santa Monica is a huge studio too. So much bigger than Ben right now. But and this is and Ben's studio. I dropped a link in the chat. It's a Reddit thread. It's it's mod approved. It's a real person that did work for Sony, but they can't confirm that anything that they said is true. But they actually talk about how Sony Bend had an infamous game on PS Vita. Like that was going to be a thing.
I heard about that.
As soon as the PS Vitas got jailbroke, they're like, they turned the switch off everything. They said, look, Vita's going to die now because everyone's freaking it at this point. So, and he is right about that part. But as far as like buying a game day one, like that thing went over my head. Like I didn't really take too much from it. It was like, whatever, man. Like, of course.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I saw 4 different articles about him saying that, and I was like, man, is he really talking out of his ass right now?
Yeah.
Like gamers are the reason why he had the opportunity to make Days Gone.
Yeah. And I'll say this, like, if you want a game that's gonna be bought day one, make your game something completely different that we haven't seen before.
Exactly. Exactly. Don't ride the coattails of like popular franchises like Resident Evil and The Last of Us. Don't do that. Don't ride the coattails of Uncharted. Don't do that.
But also, don't throw a hissy fit that your game didn't sell 18 million copies and get game of the generation.
Right.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly. Well, I guarantee you, Housemarque is not going to be like spitting in everybody's eye when Returnal comes out.
No.
Yeah, I mean, and I think this is why it doesn't compare to Horizon and Ghost of Tsushima, because those games are doing something that we hadn't seen before, especially Horizon. Like, I bought Horizon day one. I bought the collector's edition. I had no idea what I was getting when I got that game, except that I was going to play a badass Aloy who was fighting robot dinosaurs. That's cool. We've never seen that before. But when you give me something that I've seen in about 12,000 episodes of Walking Dead.
I was just about to say, it looks like a Walking Dead clone.
That's why I said it feels like a late PS3 game. I mean, if this game had come out at the height of the Walking Dead popularity, it would have been a slam dunk. Like, you would have seen this game for the next decade.
The other part of the issue, too, is that first trailer that we saw of Days Gone happened right as we also got our first trailer for Last of Us 2. Yeah. And I honestly didn't know at the start of both the trailers if it was a continuation of The Last of Us Part 2. Because it looked like just like the opening sequence that they just showed us in Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, you know what? You are right about that. Because I remember I had a little bit of confusion of that, too. Because I was like, wait, is this another Last of Us title? I thought this was like a spin-off title or something.
Yeah, I was like, is this like a new minigame? Or there was nothing that made it look distinct or original at all.
Yep.
Yeah. But
all right.
That's all I really have to say about it. But I wish Sony Bend the best. I think Josh Garvin's I wish him the best in whatever he does, but maybe just don't say anything.
Maybe humble your ass.
What's the term? Don't take a dump in the same place you eat.
Yeah, and
I'm saying that nicely, by the way. I'm not saying the actual like real saying. You know, from the saying from the South.
And Sony fans are hardcore. I mean, the hardcore bands, they'll buy anything. They'll buy Ho-Hokum. You know, they'll buy all these like random games.
Yeah.
So you're talking to a wrong crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're accusing Sony fans of not being loyal, maybe you should make sure that you're working on Sony and not on Xbox.
Yeah.
Like, you want a place where new franchises go to die. Go over there.
Hey, I know this. Yeah. He wouldn't be able to pull this at Nintendo. I'll say that much.
Like, and let's be honest, if ReCore would have dropped on Sony, I guarantee you there would be Sony people talking about how it's one of the best games of the year. Like,
dude, I've already said this, that I'm waiting. I'm waiting to go check the timelines of anybody who trashed Sunset Overdrive for the inevitable remaster on PS5. Like, oh my God,
cannot wait for it.
Oh my God, it's such a great game now! Like, oh my God, Xbox is such a gem! Like, motherfucker, you just spent the last 7 years telling me about how that's a terrible, broken game.
I cannot wait to shoot bunnies out of a mother-loving cannon. Like, I've been waiting for that on
Now, to be fair, Sunset Overdrive is an actually good game, though. Sunset Overdrive's awesome.
No, but that's what I'm getting at. Like, that was an actual good game that underperformed terribly because of horrible marketing. And, like, that just goes to show, like, I mean, like, fans over there don't want to support new IP. They want the same shit. Like, Sony gives you the creative freedom to do a new IP, but, you know, they've got to market it, and you got to give a product worth buying. That's all it is.
And I like how he said on David Jaffe's show, who just came out and said that Sony is the best place for people to make new IPs. Like, they give you the freedom to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And to go on his show and say, oh yeah, my IP didn't work because of Sony. Well, everyone else's did.
That's a little silly. Like, I mean, and you can't even pin that one on, like, Jim Ryan, because Ryan didn't take over until after Days Gone came out. Like, are you really telling me Sean told you couldn't do whatever you wanted? Really? You're telling me Sean fucking Layden didn't have your back? It's not my fault if your game took 5 years to make.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there you have it. I'm going to pose this question to our audience. Hit us up on PlayStation, PS_Crossroads on Twitter. Let us know something. Okay, so we know that Days Gone 2 is not happening. It's gone. Don't even worry about it. But we want to know Crossroads, what makes a game worthy of a sequel to you? Worthy of a sequel to you. Don't worry, we'll also tweet it out on our Twitter, so you guys can see the question as well. But I promised that Rumor Control was coming back this week, and guess what? Rumor Control is here because we have a doozy for you. There's cryptic Metal Gear tweets that are sparking rumors of a possible series announcement this week. All right, this is coming to us from our friends at PSU.com. A series of bizarre tweets have sparked hope that something could be announced this week. First off, someone has created a Twitter account named Tom Olson with the biography stating that he's serving as a maintenance technician at the Big Shell. Big Shell, y'all. This is obviously the setting for Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty. And the account itself only follows official Metal Gear related accounts, as well as Hideo Kojima and the New York Mets baseball team. A lot of his tweets have been related to Metal Gear Solid 2, of course. While this may seem like a playful fun, it's worth noting that the official Metal Gear account has responded to him, and there seems to be something going on here as they're both obviously playing along with each other. All right, guys. Question: is Konami planning a move with Metal Gear, such as the rumored Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 remakes that keep cropping up around the web, or are we just getting the wool pulled over our eyes again?
It's a pachinko machine.
Oh God. Oh no!
I don't want to believe that at the Nintendo Indie show that the game I'm most excited about is coming from Konami. That blew my mind. I was like, what? I don't even want to like it anymore because it's Konami. But hey, like, maybe they're getting back in the game. Who knows? I would like to see this just because. I think it deserves it. I think Metal Gear Solid deserves it. This kind of remastering and everything, but I don't.
Wait, hold on.
Hold
on. I need to ask the question: is now the time for Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 remake? Is now the time? You know, given that everybody hates the idea of a Last of Us remake.
Yes, give it the blue point.
Here's the thing. I cannot play Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, or 4 on my PS5 right now. I can't.
Wait,
I can play Last of
Us. Wait. You can't play Phantom Pain or in Ground Zeroes? I thought you could on PS5.
That's 5.
No. Yeah, you can play 5.
Oh, 5.
Ground Zeroes.
God. I'm sorry. Do you really want to play Metal Gear Solid 4 again, though? Do you really?
Okay, I'm going to be honest here. I'm one of the few people who really like 4. Because I think it's the weirdest and it's most Kojima game. So I like
Okay.
It's not my favorite.
I have nothing bad to say. I just had to ask the question, though. That's all.
I know that's going to be a Final Fantasy VIII kind of conundrum here.
Wes, what do you think?
I mean, I was never really into the Metal Gear Solid series. It's just something I just never jumped into. But I mean, it seems like right now everybody's doing remasters. So going ahead and actually, jumping into a Metal Gear 1 and 2 remaster probably would just be a little bit of an easier way for them to go ahead and just kind of just get more sales in before they actually go ahead and make make something as a continuation of a story.
Yeah. I think they're hard up. For new content, to make like the next entry into the series. Because God knows Metal Gear Solid Survive? That was not it.
I think, if you're Konami, obviously you want to milk this a little bit more before you ultimately sell off the rights. Mm-hmm. I do think a remake of at least Metal Gear Solid 1 is coming. Because let's be honest, Twin Snakes is the definitive way to play that game.
That's true.
And if you can do an actual remake, again, I implore you, please give it to Blue Point after what they did with fucking Demon Souls. Please give it to them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've now reached a point as gamers where we have expectations for a remake. It needs to be on the level of Demon Souls or Resident Evil 2 or Final Fantasy 7. It needs to feel like a fresh experience. It can't just have a fresh coat of paint slapped on it. It's the PlayStation 1 game we're talking about too, right? I think you have to do that, but seriously, watch this be nothing. Watch it be a fucking board game.
I know, yeah.
Watch it be a fucking board game. I could see that happening. This is something that's just within the realm of possibility to be stupid enough for Konami to do.
How radical would it be though if Metal Gear Solid 1 remake came out with the same mechanics and everything like Metal Gear Solid 5? Because think of how Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes are basically Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6, with the nostalgia. Can you imagine?
I'd like it. This is one of the few franchises that I think just Konami needs to sell off their couple franchises that actually mean something.
Yeah.
And let them go to developers that actually care. I really would love to see Sony buy Metal Gear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if for nothing else than to make sure that the IP is preserved, because I don't think Kojima wants to go back to it at this point.
Yeah,
I think he's enjoying doing new weird shit. Yeah. And I don't frankly want anybody other than Hideo Kojima making a Metal Gear game. We're straying too close to the Metal Gear storylines in real life. I really don't want to see this. I don't want to hear any more bullshit about a movie coming. Just, God, let remaster Metal Gear 1 and 2, maybe even throw 3 and 4 in there at this point. Just do the whole collection. Release it across all the platforms, and then wipe your hands and say, I'm done.
I say remaster the original trilogy and just move on at that point.
You need to re-release 4 at some point. That's one of the big points about the PS3 store.
Well, actually, because 4 does end the entire. Does end the entire Big Boss storyline. Well, it ends the Sons of Big Boss storyline. It doesn't so much end the Big Boss storyline because it continues in 5.
So 1 and 4 are the only Metal Gear Solid games you cannot play on a modern console. So even through backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that needs to be addressed.
That sounds ridiculous.
It's welcome to Konami. Honestly, I can't believe that. I'm sure there have been calls, but I cannot believe that Sony's not calling them weekly, being like, "Hey, man, we'll fund it? Can we do it?" Can we do it?
Yeah.
Kojima's not technically working for us. Can we fund this? We work with a guy named Hideo Hojima. I don't know.
Well, and then, I really hope that Sony will buy Metal Gear along with Silent Hill, which I would like more than a Metal Gear remake, and then Castlevania as well. I mean,
I want
we get
Nintendo
all
to buy
three of those.
Castlevania.
Those are the main those are the main
yeah.
three. I would also love to see a revival of the Zone of Ender series, but that's just me. But then that was also related to Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I don't think you'll get another Zone. I've been asking for Zone of the Enders for 20 years. You're not getting it.
Yeah, same. And honestly, it ended on a good note with Zone of Enders too. It did.
I do think
that's
that
a game.
the next...
That's a game that got an unexpected sequel, by the way. Zone of Enders, because Zone of Enders 1 did not do that well.
It got an HD remaster too.
Yeah.
I do think that you're going to see Sony buy Metal Gear within the next 12 months. Frankly, bold prediction. I think that they'll come out like at whatever their summer conference is, or a big state of play.
You think Sony's going to make an offer that's too good to refuse?
I mean, I think anything is too good to refuse right now, where they'll be like, fuck you, we'll sponsor your next 5 years of Metal Gear pachinko machines or something. I don't know. Like, Konami's doing fuck all with video games other than, Football Manager or something? That's about all they do. They're coming to E3 this year. Konami is coming to E3.
Maybe that's when we get our announcement.
But Sony's not coming. Sony's not going to E3.
Maybe they're coming in Sony's stead. I think that's how you say it. Maybe they're. I don't know. What happened to Konami though? I mean, hell,
the CEO of Konami walks out and rips off his mask, and it's Hideo Kojima. It was me, Barry.
You've been inside the game the whole time. You've been inside a Hideo Kojima game this whole time.
It's like that. It's like what is it? The Game of Thrones, where it's like I want you to tell her it was me. That's gonna be Kojima. I want them to know it was me. Tell Cersei it was me. That's what it was.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's time to wrap this up. Hey, we had a lot of fun tonight. I really
get us out of here.
I really enjoyed it. Real fast, guys. What have you guys been playing? What are you guys playing right now? Everyone knows what I'm playing, so I'll go last.
MLB The Show and Miles Morales.
I hate you. I can't play MLB The Show just yet.
MLB The Show and Destiny.
I hate you too.
And Outriders.
Okay, I don't hate you that much.
I could not get into Outriders. I tried so hard.
I don't hate you that much.
So the secret is have 2 scotch and sodas and play with a group of friends. And then continue drinking scotch and sodas.
I don't have any friends. That's... It didn't feel as bad as I thought it would.
No one rode to your rescue on that one. I'm sorry, man.
Austin, why don't I even do shows with you if you're not going to come in when I need you once in a while?
I don't even support you on our own shows.
Logan's just going to rage leave the call.
His wife roasted me the entire weekend. Like
the whole time.
The whole time. The best.
I mean, it sounds like it's an easy thing to do.
Yeah, it's about as easy as your sister.
Hey, at least he got rid of Justin Bieber.
Hey, listen, she's a nice lady.
Dorothy Mantooth is a saint.
She remained sexually active until her death in '93.
God, Wes, what are you playing?
Yes,
I'm playing Outriders, which I'm actually enjoying without the scotch. I'm playing Destiny 2, Animal Crossing. Yeah, that's basically it. A little bit of Fall Guys here and there, but
all right.
Yeah, Fall Guys is so much. Season 3 of Fall Guys has been awesome.
I'm so.
I've been enjoying it. I really have. I'm not in as big as I used to be, but
is that the one with the penguin? Yeah. That season.
I mean, there's a penguin level still in it, but no, this is
it's all like futuristic.
It's all futuristic.
Yeah.
Lighting me on.
Doesn't it got like a Tron look to it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's all like neons and yeah, very Tron looking.
Austin.
I finished Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. the campaign last night, and it's an okay campaign. It's definitely not the best. It's definitely not the worst Call of Duty campaign I played. Ron, did you buy Cold War PS5?
No. I know I was supposed to do that. I know.
I'm gonna tell you this. Because remember, the reason why I wanted to play it on the PS5 instead of the PS4 when I had it is because I wanted to do with the trigger effects and stuff.
Triggers? Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's not that cool. So you could just buy it on PC if you wanted to. You know, I mean, it looks good. It looks good on PS5, but if you really just wanted to play it on PC,
Plot twist: LeRon's keyboard has impulse triggers.
I mean, it's I actually because a lot of people turn it off for multiplayer. I actually like it on multiplayer. I think it keeps you from holding the button down farther, so it gives you quicker reaction time.
Yeah.
So I like it on that aspect, but as far as like it didn't jam like I thought it was going to and stuff like that, and maybe other games will do it better, but for this one it was kind of half baked. I feel. And then I started Oddworld last night.
Oh yeah.
And
how are you enjoying it?
It looks like a PS5 game in the cutscenes and when you're playing it, but it doesn't play like a PS5.
I've heard it's janky.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a raw landing game. Of course it is.
Yeah, but this is not like it's not like a quirk of the game. It's just really annoying. Like it's just the controls just doesn't add up, and like I like lore landing games. Like I've liked the Oddworld games. I've preferred the ones that I played on the Vita more than anything. I feel like and I probably would like this game maybe more on Switch instead of my my PS5 console. But it definitely looks good. The cutscenes are awesome, and the game looks really beautiful for what it is. But it just does not play like.
I've literally been waiting for this game for like 5 years, so this is a little disheartening to hear.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting there. It just doesn't play well. And I'm only I just started the second level, so because I just started. So, and I heard that it gets better midway through and on, and that's like the real strong points of the game, but we'll see.
You got to fight till then.
Yeah. And then I'm playing Dead Cells on Switch.
Yeah, I caught you last night playing that. I caught you last night playing that because I was on Switch playing something.
Something.
Oh,
we all were playing Monster Hunter. You don't have to.
I wonder what you were playing. I play roguelike games like LeRon plays Monster Hunter, so most of the time I'm playing.
So an unhealthy amount.
Yeah, an unhealthy amount. I love roguelike games, and Dead Cells is one of my favorites that I jump back into. I gotta get my dailies going. I gotta get my daily and Spelunky and Dead Cells and all that stuff. So, but yeah, I don't know what game LeRon was playing.
We already know. We don't even have to talk about it.
It starts with a monster and ends with Hunter.
Oh, I also have to say I did start because Game Pass brought GTA 5 back. So those of you who don't know, I'm a huge GTA nerd, right? So I've put on my PS4 character a little over about 1,000 hours into my PS4
Wait a minute.
character.
I don't know why I got excited because you said it was back. Game Pass PC and Game Pass Xbox have two different drops.
Yeah, it's GTA 5. Yeah, it recently just came back to Xbox. So I was like, you know what I need to do? I need to start an Xbox character. So I've got an Xbox character that I've sunk already about 24 hours into in 3 days. So
I love heisting in GTA.
It's so much
When it left
fun.
Game Pass the first time, I finally bought the game. I became part of the problem.
I got because Sumo was the game mode Sumo was paying out triple money this week.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing a ton of Sumo and it's so much fun.
Literally, all I do is heist because I have a buddy who's played so much GTA that he has like $40 million in the game.
Yeah.
And he has the invisible stealth chopper, so we just fly in and do everything and then run away. And it's fantastic. We don't actually have to try on so much of the stuff. Like, the getaway is the only part that's even remotely difficult for us at this point for the heists. But even that, it usually just goes really bad. It's fun. It's a fun game with friends.
All right. Well, that's our show for tonight. But before we get out of here, Wes, go ahead and tell our listeners a little bit about yourself.
Well, Just one of 3 Philly cats that started a podcast that we just love talking about console gaming. We go through Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, just everything we just enjoy about it. I currently stream my Twitches 3 days a week. I do my workouts. I do the Ring Fit adventure. Every new follow equals 2 burpees at the end of the stream. That's my new thing that I'm doing. I'm trying to get more people in, and I hate burpees, but I'm a whore for the brand. What can I say?
What's the most amount of burpees you've done so far on the stream?
None yet. Just 'cause I haven't had. Well, no, I haven't. Like the big thing about it is going to just having people like join or follow while I'm doing the while I'm part of the stream and while I'm doing it, because then I can go ahead and just add it on.
Okay.
So I'm still building it up. I'm still waiting for it.
As a guy who hates burpees, I know the feeling. So when's your next stream?
Oh yes.
When's your next stream?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow at roughly 4:45 Eastern time.
Oh, you might be safe. You might be safe. You make it a follow, but I'm not sure.
We also do a Freaky Friday. They started with me hating scary games, so we make me play them in the dark. And now,
That's a genius idea.
I did Resident Evil 2 remake. That was awesome. I ended up loving the game at the end. I played Alien Isolation in the dark. I spent most of my time in the lockers.
Yeah, yo, I did a playthrough of Alien Isolation for Halloween, and that game stressed me the hell out.
Have you done Dead Space?
See, that's what it is. It's the anxiety. Like I don't do well with like give me that type of anxiety in those scary games. But now my boy, one of our co-hosts, Andy, he's playing Blair Witch in the dark.
Oh, such a good game. Such a good game.
It is hilarious watching him play this game. Like, I want to get a heart rate monitor to go ahead and put on the screen. I really do. Because it would be the greatest thing in the world. But yeah, that's what we got going on. So, and then every Monday night I do a Destiny 2 Gambit run with some of my friends.
All right, cool. Nice. Also, while you have the mic, go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you.
You can find me personally at Dragon_CGC. You can find the podcast, Console Gaming Crew, at Console Crew. Every Sunday night we drop a new episode. We just recently dropped an episode where we talked a little bit of news, but we also talked about what PlayStation could do to go ahead and start being more competitive with like the Game Pass and everything else like that. Like we had a whole bunch of topics that we talked about. It was actually a lot of fun. We have another Consoles Through History that's going to be coming up soon. That one is going to be the Atari Pong system.
Nice.
So that's a nice little 20-minute filler for everybody.
Nice.
But yeah, they drop every Sunday night, and we record every Saturday. So we always try to get something out as quick as possible.
Cool.
That's awesome, man.
Cool. Josh, plug yourself.
As always, Twitch and Twitter at Josh_Finn with 2 N's, and every Thursday night at Tower Casuals, baby.
And
we gotta talk that Destiny. We gotta talk Guardian games,
and possibly this upcoming Sunday on Standard Definition.
And possibly, occasionally, whenever I ask Corey if I can just jump in 10 minutes before we start recording. Definition.
Well, Corey's not running the show right now. Joe and I are running the show.
But you also have a reign of terror going on then.
Yep.
Corey, I love you, but Nerd and I have taken over the tower. We keep auditioning different Titans to replace you.
I do run as a Titan.
Oh, there we go. There you go.
Damn it.
There you go.
Corey's gonna be out of a job.
It was a joke because all our guests that we lined up were Titans for the last couple weeks, and so we started with the dollar store Titan. We moved up to Target, and we're trying to get back up to like our IKEA Titan, which is Corey. Nobody had to be great value. Like we figure the next step will be Whole Foods.
I mean, I might be at like TJ Maxx. I might not be quite there yet.
Then we got to regress. I don't know how to feel about that. We got to keep playing.
So basically what you're saying,
actually, you're a Home Goods, man. You're a Home Goods.
Basically what you're saying is,
you can be an IKEA too.
I feel motivated now.
Logan, plug yourself, man.
Hey, we announced a bunch of stuff over at Boss Rush Entertainment. We got a whole article up on bossrushgames.com. You take a look at everything we announced, including some new shows. One of the things that did make it onto that is Dugout Talk, which is a new live show coming on twitch.tv/LANParty on BRG every Sunday night at 7 p.m. I'm going back through the week of baseball and talking about it. And then catch me on LAN Party, catch me on all the good, cool stuff when we make at Twitter at Logan Corkins.
All right, and I'm gonna go next because after me, Austin will take it out because he has something special for you guys. You can find me on social media EXODUS803 Exodus803. That's pretty much everywhere you can find me at on social media. Also, that is my gamer tag, so you can find me on most places I play video games at with that. Don't forget, you're watching the show right now on twitch.tv/Exodus803 Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and if you really love me, come back tomorrow night, Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. for the Hunters for Hire, the Monster Hunter show for Boss Rush Games. Austin, you got it.
Yeah. So you can find me at PlayStation on Twitter, and you can find all my other information there. Guys, we're going to be doing a Returnal giveaway.
Yes.
I want everyone to play this game because I love Housemarque, and I want to support I want to support games at full price. I'm gonna do it twice. So we're gonna give away a free copy on the show. I think we have 3 ways to enter that we talked about, LeRon.
Yes.
We're gonna put a tweet out, so you can retweet that tweet when it comes out, and of course follow us. Show it. Send us a picture of you subscribe to the podcast, whether it's Spotify, Apple, whatever. And then come back next Tuesday. If you're in the chat, we're going to give you a special code. If you give me that code, that's a 3rd way to enter. And we'll give it away. We'll give it away on the April 30th. I'm not going to make you wait. So we'll give it away on April 30th, whenever that game comes out. Yeah, so I want people to play Returnal. I love Housemarque.
So as of right now, you have 10 days.
Yeah, you got 10 days. Actually, I'll type out that tweet. I'll get it out tonight. And
okay, cool.
So yeah. If you retweet it, show us that you subscribe, and then come back next week and get in the chat. We'll it gives you all 3 ways to enter for the Returnal. You don't have to do all 3, but you have more of a chance if you do all 3. So.
All right. Thank you. And that's our show for tonight. We'd like to go ahead and give a big thanks to you for tuning into the Cross Rush. Wow.
Cross Rush.
I've been doing
some vid.
Okay, Corey needs to hurry up.
Have you been drinking or have I?
I promise you this is water in here, officer.
Vodka and water look identical. This is just like my senior gym class.
Corey needs to hurry up and come back from paternity leave. I swear, I've been doing too much production. But yes, a big thanks to you for tuning into the Crossroads PlayStation Podcast. Here's your reminder. Head over to bossrushgames.com and take a look at all the content Boss Rush has to offer. Check out this week's check out Stoy's Boss Rush banner article that's up right now talking about flow theory. You're going to learn something new, I promise. There's also a big discussion on the Boss Rush podcast, the latest Boss Rush podcast episode about delays in the gaming industry. You might want to check that out. We had a bunch of things to say that day. And there's letters from the editor from some guy talking about some stuff on Boss Rush Entertainment. I forget his name. Something Corky or something like that.
Logan to the cork.
Yeah. Logan's letter.
Cork in it, Corkins.
Logan's letter to the editor is out right now. Check it out. Like it talks about the upcoming roster for shows for I was about to say LAN Party, but for Boss Rush Entertainment, because he's practically the czar of that now too.
I mean, pretty much, yeah. But it's cool. We have an awesome team, though.
I mean,
we brought in new people. Hold on. I gotta give a quick shout. We brought in 2 new people that are amazing. We brought Khaled, who knows everything there is to know about Bible Man, and then we brought Thomas Cordrean, who's going to be helping us on the sports and wrestling side as well. So, I'm super pumped to have both these guys in.
That's not.
And we decided to keep Austin.
He knows everything about Bible Man.
We've really covered all of our bases now.
We got Bible Man coverage. We're waiting for the spinoff show. It's coming.
And
get us out of here.
Yeah, and before I forget, special shout out to Zoomy 2009. Thanks for tuning in tonight, brother. We appreciate it. Thank you for keeping us entertained in the chat. It was wonderful. Boss Rush Games is calling all writers. Are you passionate about video games? You enjoy writing? and are hoping for a place to publish, give us an email at opportunities@brg@gmail.com to apply. Spell that out, opportunities@brg@gmail.com to apply. If you're curious about what we do, head over to bossrushgames.com today and check us out. Once more, you can chat with us, keep the conversation going on Twitter at @PS_Crossroads. We hold it down for more news, events, and topics. Make sure to head over to our Twitter sometime in the next couple of hours. The giveaway information and details will be available. The Boss Rush Games family wants you all to have a great day. And, of course, go out there, play games, and be better. Have a great night, guys. We'll be back here next week.
Bye-bye.
See y'all.
See.